The Rum of the Mist show that you are currently tuned into will begin in about 5 minutes. Until then, enjoy this wonderful tune.
Why does a good man have to die? Another piece of shit to be born. Reasons unheard of tearing my flesh. My heart is ripped, my soul is torn. Does a good man have to die? Another piece of shit to be born. Your soul is pure when your pocket's all dry. Our race is
You are listening to It Had to Be Said with Venus, presented by Realm of the Mist Entertainment.
Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, November 6, 2016. In the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls continue to be only child souls from the smaller subatomic, and the intrusions from above continue.
That's true.
Above meaning larger and less dense levels.
Ooh, that's true.
We're going to go with the foundational assignment, which is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan, since that's what our soul contracts commit us to doing.
Speaking to the grass right here in our filming location, what we're doing right now is we're pulling out trauma threads that are messing us up in our own lives, in our own experiences of sentience. And this particular thread, which is really common, goes way, way back, multiple lifetimes, many lifetimes along the strand of incarnations of this particular presence.
One.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to It Had to Be Said with Venus. I'm Venus, and tonight we've got our lovely Mr. Christopher Stahl with us.
Hey, it's Stali, but thanks. What the
like
fuck
bugging you.
was that video that was right before the show? Like, seriously.
Oh, that's true. Video? I don't know what that was. I honestly saw that on Facebook, and like this one page was calling it demon possession, which I wouldn't doubt. Like,
That's when you eat the magic mushrooms directly off the coyote shit. I'm just letting you guys know. That's what happens when you don't wash your magic mushrooms.
like I don't understand why there's some grandma trying to give like not even middle-aged women life advice. Like, no, you're old. we don't need to take advice from you. You can't have babies. You're doing your part, woman. You're doing your part.
I'm not even going to pretend to understand. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, honestly. Like, it's going to save the world to not have children. Well, okay, so we're going to have a bunch of old people and, like, no new generation to populate the world.
I guess we're jumping right into this. I've been wondering about
Yeah.
the logistics of this to begin with, the logic of it, because I've heard arguments about like women need to stop breeding completely, just cut off the quote unquote baby factory, as these two idiots stated, or I've heard other ones where like white women are supposed to not sleep with white men so we could breed out the white race, and I'm what?
Just don't have babies. Like, excuse me, but I don't think a woman can be fully happy if she never has a child. Like, it's part of being a woman is having a child and being a mom. Like, I know a lot of women like that are older than me that never had children, and they're just like, oh my god, like they're envious of me because they're like, you're pregnant. Like I want a child, but now I'm like 40 years old and it's like not time to start having children.
There was a time when that was the time people did start having children because they lived their lives, had their youth, whatever, and then they're settling down, having husbands and children, or vice versa. There was a time where 40 was kind of the right time to have a child, which is
You know what? That makes sense.
Which is why you started looking at grandparents. You figured those kids are now 20, 30 years old, and the parent is now 60, 70 years old. That's why you always refer to like grandparents as old people, elderly. Instead of now we've got, people my age are grandfathers and grandmothers. Yeah.
Like my dad was like, he was about 64 when I first had my daughter. He was really old. He passed away when she was about 3 years old, but it's funny. My son still remembers him. He's like, oh, all the time he'll be like, I miss Grandpa. Where's Grandpa? And oh my God, we played this Ouija board one time because the kids wanted to summon Zozo, which I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll play with the Ouija board. What's the worst that can happen? So anyways, we're playing it, and I know they were moving it and stuff. Like, I know my daughter was spelling F-U to my son. So it's pretty comical. And my son just looks at me and he's like, your dad's here with us. And I was like, oh, that is so creepy. Like, this young child remembers like this, like I think he couldn't have even been 2 when my dad passed away. So he still remembers him. And it was just the creepiest thing ever. I got like a shiver down my spine. I was like, oh God. And then F-U on the board. I'm like, okay, guys, we gotta put this shit away now. Once the bad language comes out, we're done.
See, I argue that point. Like, I know for the most part, a lot of people don't remember a lot of things that happen in life. From certain aspects of things, from I guess you could kind of say most of us have fuzzy memories before 5 years old. But the idea that children have from 2 years old back have the memory of a goldfish I don't know. There's some things like my daughter says some shit to me that even I don't remember, and she was like, still shitting in her diapers.
Yeah, kids are amazing. Like, how could you not want to have like I want an army of children. I don't understand how women could like not want to have children. Like, you're totally going to deplete the population. That's all it is like some population control. And you know what? They can't target like they can't force men to go to war anymore because like pretty much wars are fought like behind a computer screen or something. So what are they gonna do? Well, they're gonna target women now.
No, you're absolutely right. And the biggest issue that I have with this ideal is you're right. It's diminishing the population, making people easier to control. Now they're telling us who we can or cannot breed with. That's literally the government is now trying, and these movements are now trying to make it where they can control who has the right to breed. I mean, we're going into like the days of China, where you could have one child and it better be a male.
Like, look at, oh my God, I don't know if you read that article that I posted about this woman wanting to, she's having quintuplets and she wants to abort her baby children, her two baby boys. And I'm like, well, you can't really do that. And, like, if you're going to have four babies, like, she must have had vitro or something to even get pregnant because, like, it's not normal to have quintuplets or at a time. So, yeah, like, why are you even getting pregnant? Like, if you just want girls, like, why are you getting pregnant? You get what you get as a mom. You don't get a choice. If it's a boy, it's a boy. If it's a girl, it's a girl. You can't just pick and choose what you want. I guess you can now. I guess, like, even you could edit your kids' genes and stuff, so I don't know if it's the healthiest thing to do, but...
No, you're not wrong, and I think that's the world they're trying to live in, is they're trying to say that nobody's allowed to breed. Nobody's allowed to have sex for the purposes of procreation, except for those deemed worthy enough to create the next generation. In other words, somebody like you might be considered worthy enough to be able to breed, but somebody like me, no, I'm not allowed. So I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life full of seed that I can't use. This
like,
is
where,
the world
like,
they want to live. Is this really the novel 1984 or THX 1138, the movie? Is that the world we live in now?
I don't know. And it's so funny that people talk about daddy issues, but like what it really comes down to is like mommy issues. Because like these are like people's moms putting these ideas in their kids' minds. Like, you don't see dads doing this shit. Like, you see a dad telling his daughter, like, don't have babies, like, don't get pregnant, like, stay my little girl forever, which is normal. Like, he's like, dad's gonna have to deal with the fact that his little girl is gonna one day have a baby, possibly. But it's moms that are like the absolute worst. Like, you can't have children, and I don't want to be a grandmother. And like, I've actually heard of moms forcing their daughters into getting abortions, or they're going to be in like the worst position ever, like kicked out of their home at 15 years old, or disowned by their families. Like, moms are doing this shit to little girls. Like, it's not the dads.
No, you're absolutely right. And again, being a divorced father who gets to be a dad 48 days out of a year, it's absolute. Men have no control over anything to deal with the reproductive system. Look at the argument we had about abortion earlier. Not tonight, but I mean previously. How
Yeah.
it takes two people to create a baby, but only one person gets to say anything about the baby. The other one is only just, a sperm donor and a paycheck. And as unfair as that is, I mean, when we're coming to any form of procreation, men really don't get a say. We really are just donors, and it's funny that we talk about this patriarchal society that everybody's always saying, oh, it's a man's world and everybody lives under the man's rules and the man's blah, blah, blah. Men really don't have much control in this world, especially in the things that matter.
I love the feminist saying that if it weren't for feminism, men would decide when women can have babies. Like, no, they can't. Men cannot decide, I'm getting you pregnant. Your body will say, we're going to get pregnant now. Like a woman's body is the one that says, yeah, we're going to have a baby. That's it. You know, you don't get a choice either because I decide without you. So how the hell can men decide where, like, a woman's going to have children and when she can have them? He can try all he wants to get her pregnant, but if her body says no, it's not happening.
Exactly. And I mean, there's a lot of factors that go involved with it. I mean, you think about the fact that women have a biological clock. Men, look at people like Keith Richards and Mick Jagger.
Nikki Sixx is 60 years old having a baby now.
Yeah, Nikki Sixx and like I said, I believe it's Keith Richards, one of the Rolling Stones, is having their 8th child at almost 80 years old.
Like,
men can produce sperm at any point in their life from basically puberty till death. As long as they can get an erection, which they make little blue pills for, we can produce sperm. It's women that are on the time clock on when they can have children. So it's really their say to begin with. It's always has been.
Yeah, I've actually heard that when men get older, they're more likely to have little girl babies also. So, I mean, if women really want to try for that little girl, go find a 60-year-old man. You're more likely to have a girl child. You won't have to have an abortion because it's a boy. And you know what? That's pretty fucked up because, like, we have people in China that, like, only have boy children. So what do the people think is going to happen? Like, America's going to be full of baby girl children. China's going to be full of baby boy children. And, like, they're going to be sold off as, like, fucking mail order brides to, like, China or something.
Well, the reason China wants male children, there are select few families that are allowed to have a daughter. And the reason of being is because they want to have enough females so that way the population can continue. But the males are being bred for the military. The males are being bred because they need enough males to serve in the Red Army.
Which is the police force.
Which is the police force. Hey, there we go.
Hey. And introducing Mr. Future Prime Minister of Canada, JD Doyle.
Oh, I'm humbled. Thank you, Venus.
Your Majesty.
No problem.
I'm a dumb American. I don't know what to call the Prime Minister. Your Majesty.
The current is kind of a wee bit of a wet flappy douchebag, but besides that, yeah, we're on some feminist topics tonight, eh? I guess
we are. We've got with us two really masculine men, both served in the army and both pro wrestlers at some point, and now here we are.
I was Navy.
Nice. Yeah, Navy's definitely it's definitely pretty elite up in America.
Any port in a storm, man.
Nice. Yeah, I did a little bit of time in the reserve.
Sorry.
So if feminists want to complain about these men, these are the type of good men in the world, and not those type of douchebags that even I want to strangle.
Wait, since I'm recording this, can I get you to just say that one more time? I want to present it the next time I'm in court with my ex-wife.
We've got two. Oh my God, you're making me giggle. We've got two manly men. We're like respectful men, like the good men in the world, and not those like bitch men that just even I want to strangle.
Testify.
I can't speak for JD, but I do not wear a man bun. So if you want to be able to pick the bad ones out of the crowd, if they got a fucking bun in their hair, they're not the one.
Yeah,
these guys wear tights.
Yeah, we that's true. We definitely wear tights for the high fly. Power shit.
I used to. I'm retired now, but 20 years, 22 glorious years, as another friend of mine would say, that I spent in spandex. And yes, ladies, I shaved my legs because hairy legs and spandex just do not mix.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. And like spandex, like it's winter time, so many girls are wearing leggings and stuff right now, and they're not shaving. And I'm like, how the fuck can you go all winter without shaving? Like I'm devoted to shaving every day of my life, and I'm like, I guess I'm not a real woman because I don't have leg hair in the middle of December.
Well, no, you just take care of yourself. That's the difference between, being one of those like hipsters who just lets everything all out and decides to say, "Oh, I can do whatever I want," and someone who takes care of themselves, there's a lack of dignity on one side of things.
But what about when they dye their hair, their like armpit hair rainbow colored or unicorn hair colored? I can't even say it without laughing.
I mean, if they want to walk around looking like they were holding the marshmallows of Lucky Charms under their armpit for a week, that's up to them. But nothing about that is attractive or sensual or natural. Yes, everybody has body hair, so if you had the ability to grow it, why don't you? Well, okay, here's the argument. Back in the day, even JD will agree with me on this, men were always supposed to expected to have short hair.
Yep.
Jesus had long hair. Men have the ability to grow long hair. Why is it not acceptable in most polite society for men to have long hair?
As long as there's no man bun.
As long as there's no man bun. Well, the reason of being is because one looks neat, clean, presentable. The other one doesn't. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now, this is coming from somebody who majority of my life had long hair. And I kept it neat and clean, ponytail, whatever the case may be. But the point is that there's a difference between presentability and just rebellious idiocy.
Yeah, like when it comes down to it, they can't expect to pick up dudes if they look like a burning Nimbin.
Oh, and that's like such a womanizer. What is it? Misogynist. That's such a misogynist thing to say.
Hey, you know what? Pussy.
Well, you can't grab something by the balls if it doesn't have balls. So I mean.
Yeah. And when it comes down to it, can't grab someone by the pussy if you can't find it. So.
Well, in this day and age, you got to be careful though. You go to grab somebody by the pussy, and all of a sudden you find out they're better hung than you are. I mean, you just don't know anymore.
Yeah. Oh wow. I have no personal stories. I have absolutely no personal stories when it comes to that. But I had an uncle once. He was a tough guy, right? Like really, really tough guy.
Here it comes. It wasn't me. It was a friend of mine. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I swear to God. I'm untainted. I'm absolutely untainted. Yeah. Well, this guy, tough guy, right? Hanging out in like the biker bars and stuff like that. God rest his soul. He's not with us anymore. But he started making out with this really hot blonde in the bar one day, and then she went lower, and then he went lower. He didn't like what he found.
Oh, such a polite way of saying they were up and ready.
Yeah. Somebody dropped their ovaries and something else with it.
No.
And
those weren't ovaries. That was Mr. Left and Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Well, so we were talking about how women like moms are like more toxic than dads are to their children, especially to their daughters.
Well, you know what's really weird right now. I don't mean to go off topic, but unfortunately, JD, this is the way the show usually goes. I'm still having your grandfather in the bar in my head right now, and I'm seeing him at the pearly gates right now. I'm seeing St. Peter standing there with the book, going through all the sins he's done in his life, and it's like, okay, you've done this, you've done that, you've done this, you've done that. Oh, that happened. Well, you know what? I was going to send you to hell, but it looks like you've already been there. Welcome to heaven.
All is forgiven.
All is forgiven after that. I'm so sorry you went through that.
Just to be clear, it wasn't my grandpa. No direct line of relation. It was an adopted uncle.
Oh, adopted uncle. Excuse me. I have to pay attention to my own self. So yeah, the adopted uncle. Same scenario though. Yeah, you've paid for it already. Go ahead. Yeah.
What do you do when that happens though? What do you do when that happens? Like definitely going through hell. How did he? How do you take a step back from that if that's something back in those days that you didn't like?
Well, back in those days, you beat the shit out of the dude.
And that's exactly what happened.
Nowadays, I don't know. Is it courteous to give them a hand job at least? It's like, look, I'm not interested, but here, let me rub one out for you. I don't know. What's the rules for today?
Well, no, you told me last night you're not supposed to take one for the team, so no, you don't do that. You don't.
Well, it's like the question I asked a long time ago. If your woman leaves you for another woman, should you hold the door for both of them? I mean, what's the protocol there?
Oh shit, that's a good one. I've never thought of that. Make sure you come.
Equal rights. They can open their own door nowadays.
There you go. Feminism.
Yep.
See, that's so fucking wrong. Like there's women like myself that appreciate when someone holds open a door for me. Like I'll even hold open a door for someone.
Yeah.
Like the other day I'm going to the registries for my license or whatever I was doing to change over some ownership of vehicle or something. And there's this guy on crutches, and these doors don't have like the handicap button, so they don't open up for anyone. So I'm like, oh, hold on, I'll grab the door for you. So there was like 2 doors I had to grab for him. He's like, oh, thanks, I appreciate it so much. And I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. And like, I'm not a dude, and I still did this shit.
It's awesome.
Well,
you know what? Common courtesy, right? Common courtesy. You see someone down and out, you help them, right?
Yeah,
and
someone struggling. It's just human nature to be like, well, I'm also like a mom, so I feel like a caregiver to like everyone. It's like, yeah, you're going to hurt yourself if you do something stupid type of deal. So I've got this. It'll be good. Just don't do it. Don't hurt yourself in front of me.
You see, that's
not good with tears.
That's what true feminism is about. It's not about like being, a third wave feminist, teeth gnashing asshole. It's about being caring and being strong and being everything that a woman has to offer in the world, full potential, right? Like,
yeah, it's a maternal instinct.
Yeah.
Well, see that the third wave feminist, the real feminist is a woman could be anything they want to be. They could do anything they want to do. There's nothing stopping them. No patriarchy is ever going to tell them that they can or can't do what they wish to do. Today's feminisms, if the woman wants to be a CEO or whatever, power, right on, good on you, sister. If the woman wants to be Donna fucking Reed, oh, don't give in to the patriarchy. It's what she wants to do. Isn't that the whole point of feminism? She could do what she wants. That's what she wants. Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, when did feminism become about peer pressure and trying to keep everybody down, trying to segregate people?
I have no idea. Like feminism, like honestly killed the feminine, because now we have like women running around looking like Cynthia Barbie dolls from Rugrats. I don't know if you guys remember her, but she's had like the half chopped off hair with like the few pieces sticking out of hair. Chris, you might have to Google that, but you're going to die laughing.
Thanks for pointing out I'm the old man. I know what the Rugrats is. I've got kids.
Okay. Yeah, but it's like from the 90s, like what, 95 or something?
It was a good show.
My oldest child is 22. He was born in 96.
You might have missed it by a few years, but...
Yeah, he might have been a Rugrat at that time, eh?
Yeah, so... But, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, I've often joked, but there's times where it's like sometimes a joke is close to the truth. I often joke that, do you ever get the impression that the third wave feminists that bitch about like this rape culture and everything else that we know doesn't exist, but in their minds it does exist? You ever get the feeling that maybe it's kind of wishful thinking, like they're only bitching about this because nobody's doing it to them?
Oh, that's
like
exactly
in
what's
Bad
happening.
Teacher, Cameron Diaz, like she would say, like they need a good dickin'.
Yes.
Yes, I said it.
Release a little bit of that tension. They definitely, they need some of that. They need to release some steam.
Well, maybe if they washed some of that ecto green Kool-Aid out of their fucking hair and took a shower once in a while, some dude might be willing enough to put a fucking dick in them. But for now, no.
Bathing is definitely good. Bathing is definitely required. Anybody who wants to get laid should bathe. Straight up. There's no way of saying it any other way. You need to bathe.
Yeah.
You do. Like you can shower and 20 minutes later, your balls will still smell like balls because your body just lets off this natural odor. I'm not even kidding you, okay? Like I'm like super big on hygiene. Like if anyone smells it'll be like, you just got to go shower. Like, do everyone a favor. You know, you don't want to be like start going down on someone or something and be like, oh God. It's like, well, I just showered, like, you know, this morning. No, no, it doesn't count.
Get in the shower now.
Hey,
Get in the shower. Get out of my house.
I'll call you a cab.
Look, one of the greatest inventions they ever made on the planet is the baby wipe. Okay, if you got a shower in the morning and 2 hours later you're meeting up with a girl, give a courtesy wipe up.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
That and the French bath. Just blast yourself with a bunch of cologne.
No, I wouldn't do that much because now you're just masking. The baby wipe at least actually cleans while deodorizes.
That's true. That's true.
Like, just leave some in your bathroom. So, like, you know, when someone comes over, you know, to have sex or something, it's right there. It's right there, courtesy, right on the back of the toilet. You know, have the garbage can right beside there. No one needs to ever know about it. And you're both happy.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly right. Look, everybody has a natural musk to them. And yes, that supposedly, like, theoretically, the musk is supposed to be attracted to the opposite sex, at least the person that's attracted to you. I'm sorry, if there's some funk coming from your thong, it's not appetizing. If I'm not at Red Lobster, I don't want to smell octopus, okay?
So scientifically, men and women are both attracted to men and women that remind them of their mother, the way that they act and stuff. Yeah, but women are attracted to men that smell like their father.
That's absolutely putrid, but possibly true. Possibly true. When it comes down to it, that's your primary influence in life, right? Now, there's a lot of, like, I don't know, the hometown that me and Venus come from, there's a lot of daddy issues running amok in the city. And it's almost a guarantee that this is one of those truths of life.
What's worse than that is mom issues. Like, I can't even lie. Like, I don't have daddy issues. I have mom issues, and look how fucking great I turned out. But look how men smell now. Like, we have men smelling like vanilla. Like, their dads don't smell like that. They smell like Irish Spring, and it's like way cheaper than a bottle of fucking men's vanilla.
Irish Spring. Most guys I knew growing up smelled like fucking motor oil, fucking cigarettes, and bourbon. Men smells.
True. That's true.
Sawdust.
But they all used to shower with like Irish Spring. Like, I swear, like when I was like 10 years old, like every man had Irish Spring in his shower. And like, trust me, I was snoopy enough to look like when I'm doing my business and just be like, oh, you know, what kind of shampoo they got? That smells good, you know? I'll tell my mom to buy some, and then Irish Spring.
Oh, wait,
Always
I'm safe.
Irish Spring.
I'm safe. I was about to say Venus. I don't mean to ruin it for you, but up in my shower right now is a fucking Irish Spring body wash. But I just remembered I ran out of that, and I have Old Spice, so we're good.
Oh, yeah, Old Spice, too, is another one. Like, one of those.
The good stuff.
I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, you guys must have seen your dad shout, like, his ship. Oh, I guess he had bars of soap back in the day that, like, everyone had to use.
My grandfather, because my father died when I was 6 months old, my grandfather was an Old Spice guy for, like, aftershave and deodorant, but, like, for wash, he was Dial. Dial
yeah,
bar
they
soap.
had that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Dial soap, and ironically enough, there's an ingredient in Dial soap that made me break out in hives, so I couldn't use the soap that was in the house. We had to buy special soap, which was any brand but Dial.
Oh, your grandpa wasn't old school, like, oh, you little pussy, you're getting hives from this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
My grandfather's ex-military, like lifer military, and German descent. So, yeah, he wasn't nice about shit. Suck it up, pussy.
See, Dial also has antibacterial stuff. So if you're thinking of something to leave in your shower for some lucky lady who's coming over, and, you know, it's like shower's part of like the foreplay or something, Dial is antibacterial.
Nice.
But you still don't want it up your ass.
Why would you do that?
Trust me, it burns.
Why is that the first thing you think of?
I personally don't want anything up my ass.
Why is it the
Exit
first?
only.
Why?
Type-
Wait a minute. Why is it the first thing? I think JD wasn't here, so JD will appreciate this. Do you remember last night's show where we started discussing your sister having sex with somebody in another room and eating chicken, and I thought she was going to stick it in her bum and have the dude fucking eat it out of her? Of course, everything's going to go to the ass.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way,
What?
challenge accepted. I did send that episode to your sister. She hasn't responded yet, though.
She's just gonna ignore you.
the ticking time bomb.
She's gonna see my name and then see chicken wings like in the same sentence and be like, "Fuck this shit."
Actually, it is. Actually, it is in the description.
I know. She's gonna be like, "Oh god, nope, not even going there."
You can't
So-
have chicken and eat it too.
You know, that's exactly what happened.
Venus didn't believe I'd send it to her sister. I'm like, what's your sister's name?
Hey, more views for the podcast, right?
That's probably the only view I'll ever get from that person, but yeah. But then again, if we do get a second view from her sister, Hillary. Yes, I know your name, Hillary. It was all Venus's idea.
See, now I feel attacked. All your macho madness is like just attacking me right now. Like, keep
It's
it
my-
to yourself.
It's my toxic masculinity. I can't help it. I'm just rapey by nature. 2,000 miles away in another country, I'm raping you right now.
Verbally, yes.
Is
My
rape
God.
the soul a thing?
Wow. I'm raping you with my verbal chicken wing in your butthole.
As long as there's dial soap, I'm good.
There you go. That's for Lou.
I think there's people out there right now, because of this whole turtle thing, with rainbow armpit hair that's falling out right now.
I'm hearing feminist minds explode as we speak.
Well, it's about time. Maybe they'll start thinking a little bit more. So, JD, you saw that video of the two women sitting there, and the one's like twitching out, and they're like saying that women shouldn't have children and procreate, and the one bitch, like, all she says is, "That's true. That's true," like over and over and over.
I see the beginning of a feminist cult forming when I look at that video, and it's not a good one either. It's one where nobody showered in weeks, maybe months.
They're having sex with trees, probably.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna throw that out there.
That's what
They're all
women
vegan,
want
so
now.
they can't do chicken wings because they're all vegan.
So they have no actual sustenance, no protein. So they're just they're in a state of like starvation.
Well, I mean, the trees could have wood mites. I mean, there's protein there.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
that's
actually
true.
they actually have this like cult where people actually have sex with the earth.
Whoa.
Like,
That's
and it
so
all started. It is like, how far does it go? Like all the way to the other side, right? But but people are actually marrying rocks.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I think I saw something like that. A woman actually married a tree.
They marry trees. They marry parts of the ground. They can marry the moss. They can marry, like, oh my god, the stuff that they marry and like have sex with, like that branch has got to hurt. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Look,
That was the moment their parents knew they fucked up.
We should have had an abortion.
I will go back to reality a second. I know
That is reality.
I know that this type of stuff that we're talking about makes for entertaining podcasts, especially because we sit here and make fun of them. But how is shit like this? I mean, seriously, can we be serious for a minute? How is shit like this not a mental fucking disorder? Like, not treated as somebody needs to get on lithium and have a coat that makes them hug themselves. It can be purple with sparklies. But,
Stop hugging the tree. Love yourself. You don't need the tree.
But, I mean, marrying rocks, having sex with trees, like, when did the insane asylum get let out? Like, And how come the white coats haven't gone and brought them back in? Like, I don't
Probably-
get how is this acceptable?
There's something
Probably
in the
the point that this woman married a pirate ghost. That was probably the tipping point.
Ooh, arr.
Like, women are crazy. Like, how is that ghost pirate going to support you? Like, he's not, like, looting anywhere anymore. Like, he's useless to you.
That banging noise you heard was my head to my desk. Really, a pirate ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna name any
did.
names, but the girls in high school that were they were like, there's, you know how there's people who just they have to be different no matter what, and it's not that they're different because they were born different. They need to stand out. They need to put on a shit show to get attention. Oh, there's girls that were definitely claiming that they were in relationships with ghosts and stuff, and you try to talk to them, you try to help them, you try to give them a little bit of reason, and even as a nice guy, you're just like, well, he doesn't deserve you, he.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, even when I was in high school, and I mean, it was more based in reality, but I swear to God, if you went to high school with me back in the early 90s, the mid 90s, you would swear, if you listened to every single woman on the in the school, you would swear that there was a rape epidemic in Northeast High School in Philadelphia because every girl claimed she was raped at some point in her life. Every single one of them. Like, of course, what bothers me about this is that some of them are probably telling the absolute truth. They were raped. But then everybody else wants to feel special, just like everybody else. So, oh my God, I was totally raped too. And you're diminishing the pain and victimization that the people who actually were raped.
Bastardizing it, yeah.
You're diminishing the sympathy, the pity, whatever you want to call it, that is deserving of the people who actually went through it because you need to feel fucking special too. And now we're going beyond rape. Now it's a ghost rape me.
Well, at least the ghosts can't go to trial.
My fart raped you.
But you have this like a succubus and stuff. Like those are like demon rapings, aren't they?
You know what? That's true too. Like if somebody's very spiritual and somebody can sense stuff like that, there's definitely people out there who feel like taken advantage of and on an energetic level and on a spiritual level. So you never know. Some people, that's another thing. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt to a certain extent. Sometimes that shit could happen. Like there's a lot of like evidence of hauntings and stuff like that and possessions, crazy shit like that. Some people who should probably be heavily medicated as well. But when it comes down to it, you never know. You really never know because everything's made of energy, right? Everything, like the rocks, the planets, sound, us, everything's made of sound and energy and vibrations. So I don't know how to explain plates flying up in the air and, moving across the room without any sort of projection or momentum or any sort of physics behind it.
I mean,
I find like a lot of people can cause that stuff. Like if you're in like a really bad place, like mentally and emotionally, you can literally cause those things to happen, like and not even know it. Like I've gotten angry a few times and like lights have like went like shut off and turned back on and stuff.
Nice.
Stuff like that, or like things have like fallen like off a shelf. Like I was mad at like saying like my boyfriend like one time, and I'm like just about to like give him hell, and all of a sudden like boom, something falls, and it's like, well, don't piss. He's sitting there like shaking. I'm like, well, don't piss me off.
Over 9,000.
See, Brian and I kind of had a conversation similar to this in the last After Hours when we were talking about parallel and alternate universes. And we weren't just talking like Star Trek or something like that. We were actually having a conversation of like the theories of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And things
That
like
guy's
that,
a dear.
and things like that we were discussing, and it kind of goes along the same lines because I said to him, there are things in this world I can't explain. I feel that I would be arrogant if I ever dismissed any of them, whether there is a God, whether it's the God of the Bible or God of reality. Who am I? I don't know. Is there an afterlife? Who am I? I don't know. I'm pretty sure there is, but I don't know. I believe there's a God. I believe there's an afterlife. I believe there's intelligent life out in the universe. I believe there's parallel universes. There's another universe where we're all sitting around a computer talking about other idiots in another universe talking about idiots sitting around a computer talking about, everything.
We're the cooler ones.
We're the cooler ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in this universe. There's a universe somewhere where I'm Donald fucking Trump, grabbing him by the pussy. But the fact, but the fact of the matter remains that there are many things in this life that are unexplainable, or at least not yet ready for us to be known. And we may not know until, like I've always made the joke, God better have a sense of humor or I'm in trouble. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people, I don't necessarily believe in religion, but I believe that there is an afterlife. And if God is sitting there and saying, we got to have a conversation, I'm going to be the first one to turn around and say, you know what, I fucked up, but I had to figure it out on my own. You know what I mean?
It was fun while it lasted.
Right?
Yeah.
I still tried to lead a good life. Does that count for something?
Like, Venus, you make fun of feminists all the time. Well, feminists are kind of stepping on my fucking grass, and
But see, that was
they
that
started
was
it.
That's where I was going to go with that. Like beyond the metaphysical, and supernatural. We have people like feminists and really what I call the liberals in general, where they've lost touch of reality. And is it, like, I have a serious question to you guys. Is it because of the fact that they've bought into too many fantasies? Have they been playing D&D in their mom's basement too long? As a person who loves D&D, I hate using that example, but have they lost touch of reality? Is this a mental disorder? Is this just we live in a la fantasy land so bad that we want, and the biggest thing that bugs me about it, and I definitely want to get your guys' feel on this too, is not just the fact that they live in this bubble of make-believe, but they want everybody else to conform to their bubble. They don't want you to be an individual. We used to celebrate individuality back in the day. Celebrate diversity. Be an individual.
Something weird?
Be an individual. Now we all have to be exactly the same. And is that am I missing the point here? Please, what's weird?
Just a little disclaimer. First. Not all liberals are fruity. Not all liberals are, crazy lunatics. There's some that actually believe in, not, being just accepting everybody for who they are and stuff. And it's a beautiful quality. I find liberals, they use their heart type thing. They try to use their heart, but not their minds. And if somebody has a messed up mind, their heart's going to go out of whack, and it's loose cannon mode. That's the problem right there. I'll
retract on that because you're right. I miss the Democrat. For us, it'd be Democrats, but I'll use liberals because of anybody outside the United States. I miss the liberals that used to at least have the mind frame that even if I don't agree with what you say, I defend your right to say it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm definitely not liberal. I was actually raised around a bunch of liberals, like people who kind of didn't even know they were liberals. And because nobody gave a fuck about politics back in the day,
right?
And now that we know that we have to, what it is the media is always pushing some sort of agenda. The media, they're putting shit in our food, like that soy bullshit. Like you see the soy boys that they're literally becoming
feminized.
Yeah, and
it's like there's so much estrogen in soya and stuff, like it's good to regulate a woman's hormones, but if men are taking it, it's going, like, they're having a boost of estrogen, so they're slowly feminizing themselves.
Yeah, like it should, as much as feminism's like, we're all equal, screw you, man. It's like okay, well, let's look at it from a biological spectrum. Women should be eating certain things. Men should be eating certain things based on, bone density and muscle mass and like organics. Like women were designed by, God knows what, if it's not God or if it's, whatever it is, women were designed to reproduce and have children. There's something to say when it comes to women where they can do things that men can't. Women can do miraculous things that men can't. Exactly. Women have a higher pain threshold than men. We're supposed to run around like we were made to run around clubbing saber-toothed tigers and dragging them back to cook them. But women have a higher pain threshold. There's a reason for that. Women are fucking amazing. Women are like I honestly back in the day when Kurt Cobain was, like, I'm a feminist, I looked into it and I used to love Kurt Cobain. Now that I'm older, I know that he makes absolutely no sense for a lot of things, but I still love him. You try to look into the lyrics and stuff that he writes, and you're just like, wow, that's deep. But then you look back at it, and you're like, that could mean anything.
Well, I think that was part of his. Not
genius.
Only was it the heroin, I think that was part of his genius. He was one of my influences. Him and I put him in the same category as like a Jim Morrison. That the lyrics were written in a particular way that you're supposed to find your own meaning within the lyrics. You'll never know what the fuck he actually meant when he wrote them.
I think he just meant heroin.
Yeah.
But
like the Red Hot Chili
Courtney
Peppers
killed
frontman,
me.
Yeah.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers frontman said that when they make music, they're not making a specific message. They're just tuning in to the universe, and the universe is sending them a message to be interpreted how other people interpret it. Pretty much.
And the universe gives two fucks about California? I doubt it.
But that was their interpretation of what the universe was saying, so it's like a story for everyone to translate into their own perception.
Fair enough, but there's a lot of talk about California in their songs. I don't buy it.
Yeah, they were definitely kissing California's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone went out of their way to like make California a hub. Like all these Hollywood people are like, oh yeah, California, Tupac, California, in the beat, right? Everyone's just like, yeah, rep California, and then California became, well, from my research anyway, not to delve into the whole, spiritual side, it basically became a satanic playground for evil and dirtbags.
It really. No, you're not wrong. It really became the Sin City that Vegas was always known for. But what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. California proudly proclaims it to everybody under the sun and then tells you you're wrong if you don't follow suit.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Liberal Central, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Once again, we love our liberal friends and family. We just we shake our heads sometimes in the questionable decisions and things you say. And the fact that there's very little sense of humor.
It's the liberal mentality that like really gets to people. It's the same as like liberals saying, well, there's a conservative mentality. The conservative mentality is like from the USA is supposed to be like super Christian and like big families and stuff like that. And liberals are like, you guys, your family's too big, so you have you can't have 8 kids. Like it's just not. It's not ethical, and then so like that's what, that's why they're being so drastic, like fighting back, because it's like you take away one thing, and then all of a sudden, we want this or whatever. Like when people wanted to put abortion rights into the court system, well, it should have been left between a doctor and a woman in the first place. But now you have the right to have an abortion up until your baby's born. Well, in retaliation now, they have the heartbeat bill. So, I mean, you're going to get pushed, you're going to get shoved. If people just minded their own goddamn businesses, there wouldn't be so much fucking bullshit going on.
Give me a moment.
They're taking away our rights.
Give me a moment. The cortisol is going up to my frontal lobe. The stress and anger is taking over. that fucking late term abortion bullshit.
Look. We've had detailed conversations about abortions and especially the late term and afterbirth abortions, and stuff of that nature. Yes, go ahead and drink, guys. But the fact of the matter is, I agree with the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Not because I don't agree with abortions, even though I don't agree with abortions, but the reason I agree with it is it should be back into the municipalities of the individual state and not mandated by the country in general, by the federal government. If a state doesn't want to allow abortions, good. That's their prerogative. You don't like it, move to another state that allows it, because there's going to be states that allow it. You don't even have to move to the state. You could just drive over. If Pennsylvania does not allow abortions, but Jersey does, that's a bridge drive. That's an hour away.
Yeah, anybody who wants late-term abortions should just move to California.
Well, see, I don't agree. I don't agree with the late-term abortions at all. To me, anything past 8 weeks, as soon as there's a heart, I agree with the heartbeat bill. As soon as there's a heartbeat, it's a murder.
There's a reason there's a morning after pill, and it's like there's women out there that are like, yeah, I don't want to take it, it hurts, and it's like, well, you know, it felt really good last night when you refused a condom.
Yeah,
but there has to be a little bit of a balance there, unless you want to, you know, fuck someone else's life up.
Oh, can we talk about this? They just did FDA trials. Venus, you'll appreciate this. They just did FDA trials on humans for male birth control pills.
I was actually talking about that, but I don't understand how women could say that the morning after pill hurts. Abortions hurt.
Yeah.
No, they do.
Wow.
I've known girls that have had them, and like they're in pain for 2 weeks because literally your whole uterus gets vacuumed. And like, 2 weeks of bleeding, you could hemorrhage at this point. And don't tell me it's like safer than taking a morning after pill. It's like morning after pill, you know, it's like a one-time thing, but you should be using protection. And now with this male birth control stuff and men getting upset that women are killing their children, well, now men have more choices, so they have more responsibility that they can use on top of not just putting everything on young girls.
Well, see, I don't agree with this male birth control pill. And maybe it's because I'm not educated enough on it. I'm fair enough to say that. But I just don't like the idea of, you know, something that blocks my production of sperm.
Yeah, that's scary.
What if I can never start producing again?
They could be one of those population control type things where now that population control has been an admitted thing, now that people are like, oh yeah, vaccines, haha. Bill Gates is like, oh yeah, let's take a chunk out of India, like, you know, disclaimer, that was a joke, right?
Right.
Bill Gates is evil as hell.
Oh yeah, that guy was probably bullied as a kid, and he's like, now that I'm rich, I will have my revenge.
Well, he actually was making a vaccine for the next world pandemic that doesn't even exist yet. And he spent trillions and trillions of dollars into patenting and making this universal vaccine for the next plague that's going to hit humanity.
He's got psychics up in there working on that shit in the background.
Where he's at, and he's saying that the world is due for a next pandemic. While he's making this, and I think he's making it in China, China's actually having another bird flu pandemic.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and it's like under scrutiny that Bill Gates is actually funding this bird flu and not a vaccine, but he's patenting this disease.
How do you stop the elite from raining down shit on you? Like
you
the
kill
people.
Them?
Yeah, that's pretty much the only way. Yeah, you got to go for the heart of the Hydra, or else the heads are gonna, you know, nip away at your ankles and shins.
Well, I was about to say I can't speak for the rest of the world, but the United States, the way we handled it was we broke off from England and took over their colonies and made it our own fucking country.
Yeah.
And we did it with guns and not caring about their feelings.
Yeah,
Well,
you did it. You did it like every single liberal out there would nowadays.
Could you imagine the modernist elite liberal sitting in with the declaration of war against England? Oh no, we can't do that. You're going to be mean to King George.
King George has feelings, you know.
We can't. No,
oh no, but
you got to
but
turn
he's
in
a
all your
man,
guns.
so it doesn't matter.
You got to turn in all
That's
your guns,
true.
and then we'll go to King George and we'll tell him about socialism, and he can take all the rich people in England and make them pay 70 to 75% of their annual income in taxes, and then everybody will be equal.
Yeah, they're gonna go for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Release the hounds.
Could you fucking imagine that? Like, I made that up as I went along, but I just realized I realized I never truly understood how stupid democratic socialism was until I used it in that format during the Revolutionary War, and it's like, oh my god, how dumb are they?
Now it makes sense. Now we're not questioning what it is. We get it now.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
both of my great grandpas, they both served in World War I and II. My great grandpa on my dad's side served in every major Canadian war, every major Canadian battle. Sorry, on the front lines and came out alive. And he passed away nice and peaceful at a ripe old age. He is probably, I'm looking up at the sky and I'm just thinking, holy fuck, you're shaking your head right now at what's going on. This is insane. Like, we, once again, back to the whole male toxicity thing. Like, we used to have real men running around kicking ass, stomping fucking new assholes into people to make sure that, you know, women and children were okay. They weren't getting taken over by actual socialism and communism and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had in the West, we have such a nice thing going. We're free. We have a balance between capitalism and socialism, especially in Canada with the free healthcare. I'm sorry about everyone up in the States. You guys need that shit. You guys got to figure that shit out, because it really, really is an ass saver. But there's a nice balance up here in Canada where, you know, you can break your ankle and you can either, you know, limp off to the hospital, which is, you know, not really advised, or you can call an ambulance and they'll bill you like $50 for it later, but the rest is covered. Like, everything in Canada is covered just to keep you alive, to keep you going. But even though there's a little bit of a fucking wait time, we have to figure that out. Getting back to it, there were real men stomping asses, taking no fucking prisoners. We need that shit. We need to bring that back, because we need the strength. You can only negotiate from a position of power. That's like an old war saying, an old war quote, an old like rulership quote. And when it comes down to it, as leaders and stuff like that, we have to look at what's best for our women and for you know, your local soy boys too that can't defend themselves. You got to be like,
look, the only thing I agree with you. The only thing that's gonna defend a beta, and I'm not calling women beta in your analogy. I'm not calling women betas. I'm not calling children beta.
Venus is an absolute alpha female.
Well,
Straight up.
that's what I was gonna say. The only thing that's going to defend a beta is an alpha.
it's an alpha, exactly.
The only thing
For
that will
men
stop,
or women.
understand,
Yeah.
like, with this gun control bullshit that they want to try to pull, you know, take your guns away and everything. It has been proven throughout history, the only thing that will ever stop a bad person with a gun is a good person with a gun.
See, I could be like an alpha female, and I could still be harassed by a beta male or something. Like, I could kick his ass, okay? Like, I definitely could, but it's like, okay, where's that alpha male who's gonna come in and be like, yo, down, bitch, and like to that beta male who harasses women and stuff and whatever. And when they talk about toxic masculinity, they're like totally degrading these alpha males who look out for females and, you know, keep these beta males in their place. Like, I find feminists love these beta males that are all for feminism and stuff and whatever and whatnot. These are the creepers you need to watch out for. They're the ones that are going to stalk you and harass you and, like, do terrible things to you. They're the ones that do that. The alpha males, like, no. Like, you know, they might be a bit of an asshole or an arrogant asshole at times. But, like, normally you don't have to watch your back around them. They're watching everything else, like, for themselves and for you. That's what men are supposed to do. Like, protect women. And not to say that we can't, because it's really not that hard to grab a guy by his balls and, like, fucking, as my mom used to say, grab, twist, and pull, and then throw punch him and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But why should we have to do this? Like, why do we have to defend ourselves? Like, we could be harassed in a bar, like, by one dude, and, like, 10 of his friends will come up and, like, stop him if, like, a woman acts like a lady and, you know, she's, like, not interested.
Well,
you'll be saved.
You're absolutely right, because with these feminists, they want to paint males as, like, the 1950s movie male. Now, I'm sure the 1950s there was some like this, but most weren't. I imagine most weren't. But they always imagined a guy that comes home from work and expects his wife to wait on him hand and foot, hand him his slippers, his pipe, and if she mouths off or doesn't do the Donna Reed thing, he backhands her. That's what they're trying to fight against. That's what they're trying to paint males as. Males, I don't think, really, for the most part, have ever been that person. To an extent, yeah, there was some dudes out there like that. There's still dudes out there like that. But for the most part, most men, they revere women. They revere them. They want to nurture and care for them because we love them.
It's in our instincts.
It's in our instincts to want to protect them, to want to take care of them, to want to provide for them. That's not a chauvinistic thing. That is a male stepping up and taking part of being a part of his household.
Exactly.
See, I don't understand why feminists are even so against marriage. Like, after, like, 10 years of marriage, like, you barely even talk to each other or anything. But you know what? You're still taken care of at the end of the day. And you know what? You still fold his clothes and put them away. Whoopee shit. You don't have to work. If you choose the right man, he'll go to work. You guys will barely ever see each other. Like, this is my dream, okay? I want to get married, and I want my husband, like, I'll pack his lunches in the morning. You know, make sure he's fed, he's got his coffee and his thermos to go to work, and he's all ready to go. And then I can have my girlfriend, who's also like this trophy wife, come over and have morning mimosas with me. We can get decently buzzed by lunchtime and then have dinner prepared. And you know what? That's all we have to do in a day is pack a fucking lunch and maybe do some laundry, do the dishes, you know, the household shit. Don't have to do anything else. If we decide we're not doing the dishes today, we don't have to, because what the fuck is our man going to do if he's still got a nice-ass meal? And we get, like, all the freedom to do what we want in the world and spend his paychecks. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? And, like, after so long, it's like the relationship's bound to turn stagnant. And there you go, more fucking freedom for you. And you still got that security at home. And all you got to do is, you know, cuddle your man at night or something. Tell him he looks good in the morning, you know, put a little love note in his lunch and, you know, say, I'm making this for dinner or something. Give him something to be excited about. I mean, it's so easy to be a woman. And, like feminists are taking that away from people like me.
You're not wrong. And, in fact, men today are and I'm not talking about the beta cuck males. I'm talking about normal men. Normal men are so much easier to please.
Yeah.
We don't even care if you pack our lunch and make our thermos, or, like I said, we come home at night with our slippers and pipe out for us and the newspaper. We don't care about none of that shit. Be at the door naked and give me a blowjob.
Right, you know, like, even, like, okay, like, I don't even understand how women could be, like, in relationships with other women. Like, you know, you piss off a man, you give him a few hours to cool down. You don't even have to apologize. Like, the worst you're gonna have to do is, like, and don't take this, like, you know, like, in the wrong, like, you know, like, you have to bow down type of thing. But you get on your knees, you give him a blowjob, all's forgiven, and then you have another week until you can piss him off again. I mean, it's really not that hard. But and then, like, women, like, we never forget anything. You piss us off. We want the flowers. We want the kisses. We want the apologies. We want you to rub our feet. We want you to run our baths for us. Like, you're never going to apologize enough. You're never sorry enough to make us feel better. Like,
but here's the deal. Going back to what you just said. You give a man head, he's good for a week. No apology ever necessary. But if you do that for a man, like, once a week, he'll do all that shit for you anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so easy. Like, Men are just so, like, you can't find anything easier in the world than a man who's interested in you. Like, you could have him pussy whipped, like, you could do anything, and it's like literally like you're the most free woman in the entire world.
A motivated non-beta male man that's interested in you. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Alpha men are like that too. Like if they've got a loyal chick who like stays at home, does her thing, stuff like that, like takes care of him, the occasional back rub, and makes him feel appreciated once in a while. He's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
And that's even an alpha male. But I think we need to get to a commercial break.
Yes, we do. So we'll be right back with It Had to Be Said with Venus after these few messages.
Why didn't the Three Little Pigs go in for some kind of flat share scheme?
Does Jesus get to choose which wine he turns it into?
Why don't Sims have the upper body strength to climb out of a swimming pool?
And does everybody really want to be a cat?
I'm Will Baker.
And I'm Alex Prescott.
And if you're the type of person that overthinks these deep philosophical questions, then Think to the Brink is the podcast for you.
From Disney characters to song lyrics, debates to social etiquette, tune in every week for your dose of paralysis by analysis.
All topic suggestions are welcome. If you can think it, we can overthink it. Think to the Brink. Available on all podcast platforms.
Hey everyone, this is John Tolley, inviting you to check out War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. Each week, me and my co-host Christopher Stolley discuss news and theories surrounding one of the largest movie franchises in the world. So join us every Wednesday at 8 Eastern as we travel to the galaxy far, far away, right here on Anchor FM and wherever fine podcasts are heard.
When you need CBD, vape juice, or a new mod, go to Vape Scorpion. 10859 Boston Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 1916. They are formerly known as East Coast Vapor. They have all your needs, all the equipment, all the juice. And hey, while you're there, sit down, enjoy a beer for your own, and just hang out with a bunch of cool people. So guys, if you really need your next vape machine, or maybe you just want to try a locally made juice, make sure you hit up Vape Scorpion. That's 1085 Boston Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19116. Or give a call to 215-464-8273. Oh yeah, and make sure you let them know that Realm of the Mist Entertainment sent you.
He said that she said, how dare you say that? That's offensive. Well, someone's gotta say it. It Had to Be Said with Venus. Catch the live show Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out the recordings at any time. This show's weekly. Listener, beware. Mature content, sexual content, trigger warning. Do you dare say it?
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm here to tell you about Realm of the Mist podcast. Realm of the Mist podcast, we talk about all the great entertainment things, from movies, books, comic books, and many other forms of entertainment, as well as politics, current events, and just general humor and having a good time. If you're looking for a podcast that is right up your alley, look no further than Realm of the Mist podcast, here on Anchor.fm, or where fine podcasts can be heard.
Hi, this is Dave from the Comic Collection at 83 Bustleton Pike in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. Our phone number is 215-357-3332. We are right next to Northeast Philadelphia. We have action figures, gaming, statues, albums, and CDs, graphic novels, other knickknacks, and, of course, comics. Established in 1985, we are your go-to store. Come by and say hello, and say that the guys from Radiocast FM Radio sent you. The address again is 83 Bustleton Pike, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, or call 215-357-3332.
Three-eyed turtle? Is that all right? The fuck is a three-eyed turtle?
What's the mustache ride?
Are you tired of the same old podcasts with no humor? Well, join us for After Hours, where everything is funny, at least to us, on Anchor.fm and where quality podcasts are heard.
How the fuck did we get on this?
I don't know.
FCC started this shit. It's their fucking fault.
Hey everyone, this is Dak.
This is Liam.
And this is White People Shit.
We are a bi-weekly podcast.
Whoa. Maybe you're bi-week. I'm straight and strong.
It means twice a week, you douche.
Oh. Yeah, listen to us twice a week. On White People Wednesdays, we talk about gay stuff, zombies, superhero sex positions.
And on Featured Peep Fridays, we interview the Featured Peep of the Week.
Yeah, like a fucking...
Search WPS Podcast and look for the white dude in red pajamas.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts.
We believe in equal opportunity humor, where all things can be made fun of. So if your feelings get hurt and you're offended, you can always...
eat a dick.
One.
And we're back with a Had to Be Said with Venus and my co-hosts, Chris and JD. So pretty much to sum up what I was just talking about is like my girlfriend used to tell me, like she was like one of those stronger females and stuff. She used to tell me, all you got to do is stroke a man's ego to keep him happy.
She's not wrong. Again, I will say it again, like we were joking about the blowjobs and everything else, but really, if a woman just pays that little attention, and let's be fair, it really is that little attention, you know, once a week, dude will be out in the front lawn vacuuming the grass. People, it doesn't make no damn sense to him. People look at him weird, but he's going to be like, well, she swallows and said it was dirty. I'll do whatever she wants. Women,
it's not even the swallowing or like any of that. It's just stroking a man's ego, like, wow, baby, you know, you did so good, or, you know, that was great how you washed the dishes. Like, you pretty much got to talk to men like children, like, and not to like put men down, but like it's like simple like that, you know, like if your kid does something good, you always have to give them that praisal, or if they're like, or if they're doing better at something, like, oh my gosh, you're doing so much better. And you know what? I was telling one of my girlfriends this, is like, you know what? You always have to give the cookie. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if your kid does something good, they get a reward, right? Men like cookies too. And she's like actual cookies. I'm like, yeah, actual fucking cookies.
Well, you're not wrong, but let's take a look at the world of a man, especially in today's society. But in general, let's look at the world of a male. He goes to work every day, usually getting shit on by his boss. He's got buddies who, you know...
Rides him all the time.
Rides him all the time, gives him shit all the time, remembers more of his mistakes than his accomplishments, you know, and then he comes home. The last thing he wants is to come home to a place where he's getting shit on by his kids, shit on by his wife, looking at the fucking stack up pile of bills. So, I mean... It sounds wrong, but you're not wrong. Give him a pat on the head and a gold star every once in a while. Just so that way he knows that he's still appreciated for all the shit he's putting up with. He puts a lot of weight. The alpha male puts a lot of weight on his shoulders for his family. And every once in a while just being told it's appreciated.
Just knowing someone has your back.
Yeah. It's the world.
Yeah, because the guy's friends will always let him down or something. But, like, when his girl's there and she's like, okay, that's it, we're going to go smash in his fucking car windows. He's like, yeah, that's my girl, you know, like, I feel good. Someone's got my back. But
ride or die. Yeah.
Look, behind every successful man is a woman rolling her eyes.
Hopefully from a good orgasm, but that up to imagination.
But... you know, it is a team effort. Whether it's two people out working because of today's society, you just can't afford to live on one income, or whatever the case may be. And it works both ways. Like, guys out there, let your woman know she's appreciated, whether she's a stay-at-home mom or she works a professional job or if she just works a retail job. Yeah. Let her know that her effort is just as appreciated as your effort is.
Yeah,
it works both ways.
That's all it is. Like, oh my God, that dinner was great. You know, like I'll pick up the dishes. Don't even have to do them. Just put them on the counter. Anything. Or like, you know what? I bought you some wine. You bought me wine. Like, really? Like, yeah, actually, I got you some champagne. What? Yeah, here, you know, go out with your girlfriend for a bit. Or, you know, like, oh yeah, I invite your girlfriends over for lunch tomorrow. Like, I'll buy you guys lunch or something. It's so, like, it's very simple to make someone feel appreciated.
It's little things, yeah.
The simplest way I could describe it, and I know this is a world where majority like households are single parent. They don't have the father in their lives or the mother in their lives and stuff. So let me give you the example and explanation that really every child should be taught, and by the time they're adults, they should be activating it in their own lives and teaching it to their children. Men, be the guy that you would want your daughter to marry. Women, be the girl you would want your son to marry. It's that simple. You live by those rules. Imagine how many things that are so wrong in this society between men and women would go away.
Absolutely. That's some words of wisdom right there.
It's just really simple. The golden rule. You got to teach your kids that, you know, do unto others as you expect unto you. But if a motherfucker wants to push your buttons, well, then that motherfucker was asking for what he wants done to him. So go ahead and smack the living shit out of him.
Just like here at Realm of the Mist, if you mess with one of us, all the rest of us are jumping around with shovels going, oh, somebody's gonna get it.
Oh, Jesus. It's quite the witch hunt there.
We're going to be digging all night.
That's it, but we don't mind. We got beer.
Yeah.
And Doritos.
Beer, Doritos, and plenty of stories. We could do this.
You know what? We need a Heineken sponsorship for this podcast.
What, no Molson? Wait, is it still Molson?
Your grandpa would probably kick my ass right now, but it gives me hives. Premium beer, German filtered beer. Sorry, Canada, but you know, Molson Canadian is now owned by America.
You know what though? I don't mind. I applaud the callback. I applaud the callback.
Actually, used to drink Heineken at times, and like people would be like, "Oh my God, like, did you smoke weed?" Like, no, the Heineken.
But seriously,
it covers up the alcohol smell.
I know it was a Canadian beer. Is Molson even still around, or Labatt Blue?
Yeah, they're still around.
I don't know. I drink Yingling, so.
What?
It's one of the oldest breweries in America, but they're really like only on the East Coast of the United States.
I prefer hard liquor or wine or something.
Well, I mean, I got that stuff too, but we're talking about beer.
Oh, have you tried the 99 whiskey?
No, but I do. Ironically, in honor of you guys, I do have a bottle of Canadian Mist sitting up there.
Oh my God. Oh, they have Old Dirty Boys, I think it's called whiskey too. The Trailer Park Boys whiskey. That stuff is like fucking amazing. And the 99 is Wayne Gretzky's wine whiskey, and it's made in wine barrels, so it's like really sweet for all the ladies out there. That's a good one.
Speaking of Trailer Park Boys, it wasn't the one with the really thick glasses, the one that looks like he has Down syndrome. Didn't he get like in trouble for like child pornography or some shit?
No.
I think he did. Look it up. I believe he did.
I'm gonna look that up right now. Fuck off, Bubbles. You didn't do that. No.
The Bubbles did not do that.
My childhood is ruined.
Childhood watching Trailer.
I know I saw some article about it. I didn't read it because I wasn't a fan of Trailer Park Boys, but You know, I know I read. Actually, my response to it is like, yeah, he looks like the guy, and I moved on. Like, so,
like, what's he gonna do? Lure some girl into his what does he live in, his shack or his whatever?
Well,
I don't know. I got kitties in there.
I don't know. I don't know if it was necessarily like he was actually child molesting, or if he was like, you know, diddling in child pornography, like downloading idiot pictures.
You know, I don't even think I've ever heard of anyone even criticizing him over this. I remember vaguely seeing it, and everyone, like male and female, like all Canadian, are just like, no, not Bubbles, not Bubbles. Bubbles did not do that. And you know what? Like we'll ream out anyone, but not our beloved Bubbles. He's like a Canadian icon beyond belief. Like he did not do that.
Okay, some unknown website. Like we got an unknown website right here. Like I've ever heard of this website. It pops up first on Google, so the SEO is probably pretty good. It says he was arrested for domestic battery. I'm gonna look into this. Yeah, I do not want to. No, this is fucking Bubbles. So if he didn't do something, I do not want to demonize this guy because it's Bubbles, right? So we gotta. Okay, accused of sexual assault. Vice News. Okay, Vice News is like the biggest feminist fucking piece of trash in the third wave feminists. First wave feminism, thumbs up, huge thumbs up. It was necessary. Third wave feminism, you got the stinkies running around with the fucking rainbow armpit hair and
when I was like 15 or so, it was like the feminists that are like, you need to dress appropriately and you need to dress conservatively and you don't want to be showing off too much skin and you need to act like a lady and don't be a slut and stuff like that. And then like I hit like 22 and it's like all these like feminist women are like running around with their titties out with a slut tattooed across their chest.
Right.
It totally changed. And I grew up with like these influential women. Like I was in a lot of group homes and foster care and stuff, and they were like really influential on me to be like, you know, you dress conservatively, act like a woman, and that's what stuck with me. So like I'm not against or opposed to women even like being nude or anything, like obviously. We're not gonna get into this personal stuff again. But
just tune in to Realm of the Mist podcast yesterday. You'll get all the what she's skipping. You'll get all that in there.
Yeah, I'm just not going to spend an hour on that again. But like women are so like entitled to do what they want and dress how they want and stuff. But it was demonized before, and now we have like these these sluts running around. Like, why are you degrading women? Like, we were honestly at like such a high place, like in society, like 10 years ago, and now we're just like, honestly, like it's the scum of the fucking world. Like it's the cancer of society to be a modern day feminist.
It is the women that nobody wants to fuck. That's what third wave feminism is. It's the women that nobody wants to fuck.
I looked up statistics on this and the sexual orientation of feminists, and like 95% of them are lesbian. So what does that say right there?
It means that the pretty lesbians don't want to fuck them. Let's be honest. Have you looked at these pictures of all these marches and all these feminist movements and everything else? The women that are running around butt naked with slut tattooed on them. Ain't none of them getting laid by a guy or
none of them
girl.
are even. They're like, most of them aren't even successful women. Like they're not like business women or anything, you know. They're not the women that are CEOs that they're complaining that don't have these jobs. There are women that are CEOs, but they're not running around like fucking trailer trash and like yelling at people, hitting them and stuff. Why? Because they've hit a successful level in their life.
They're too busy working.
Exactly.
Yeah, making money. They're being true feminists. They're going in there and they're getting their fucking money. They're getting their money up. They're getting their business up. They're making people proud. They're like, yeah, I'm a boss, a legitimate boss, not like Jabba the Hutt, love child with Chewbacca running around.
Kudos in the Star Wars references. But like, you know,
it's
like
so
I said,
true, though.
like I've looked at these movements, these feminist movements, and these women that are part of the feminist movements, and the way they present themselves. Like I'm more turned on by the fucking starving Ethiopians and fucking National Geographic magazines and these bitches. Like nobody, It's got to be the reason. These are the girls that couldn't get a date to the prom. These are the girls that couldn't get a date to the dance. That couldn't get a date to to the movies on a Saturday night. So, it's got to be because of the patriarchy. It's not because I'm a disgusting fucking pig that should take better care of myself. It's everybody else. Again, it goes back. Feminism today is the exact same thing as every other issue on this planet right now, where everybody's too busy trying to play the victim instead of taking responsibility for their own actions.
If only everybody would literally and proverbially wash their own asses, the world would be a better place.
It does. Look how much effort that takes, like literally, and you're not even wrong. That's why I'm like, wow, like that is such a simple fix, and it's literally 5 seconds of your day to devote to yourself. You don't have to care about the rest of the world. It's like, you know what? My ass is going to smell like roses today.
And guess what? If you do all that and people still don't want to fuck you, can't nobody on this planet please you better than you.
That's absolutely true.
Fuck them. Fuck them now with them. But why ruin everybody else's life because you're miserable?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. I found something. Sorry to interrupt. I just got to follow up on this because we got to... Like, I just want to be on point with this because it's Bubbles, right? Bubbles.
It's fair. Again, I'm not a fan of the Trailer Park Boys, so I didn't dig deep into it. It's just you mentioned it, and I remembered seeing something about it. I have no idea if it's true or not. So
these guys are like a Canadian national treasure. We have to, right?
They should be on our currency.
Yeah. I'd rather Ricky on the $100 bill than Trudeau, that's for sure.
Fuck yes.
Like Ricky, technically, if you look at what they were up against, the character Ricky versus the douchebag Justin Trudeau, Ricky's been a lot more successful without a trust fund.
Right?
I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1. So what you find?
USA Today, which I don't know, like you never know with these mainstream media outlets. Basically, they're saying that Michael Smith, who plays Bubbles, was arrested in Los Angeles on suspicion of misdemeanor and battery. Basically, they're saying somebody else called the cops. According to Georgia Ling, who was the supposed victim in this case, Mike and I did indeed have a heavy argument, but it saddens me the way things were reported and the way it was handled by the police. At no point did I feel I was in danger. Otherwise, I would have called the police myself, which I did not. The police were called by others and not present in the room, who mistakenly perceived the argument to be something other than what it was. When the officers arrived, I tried to assure them that there was no real issue, but they proceeded to arrest Mike. And then you got Lucy from Trailer Park Boys saying she resigned in a tweet, and apparently somebody asked her, and she's like, "Yeah, that's why I resigned." I was like, "Fuck this shit." So that brings up, you know what? That right there brings up another point in feminism, like modern day feminism. I'm not saying Bubbles did it. I'm not saying he didn't. I don't fucking know. I wasn't there either. But there's a lot of third wave feminists who cried wolf bullshit going on, and men, it's hard for men to escape it. We're running scared as males. We're running scared because we never know. Never. I can't stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. And you know what? Forgive me for the real talk here, but never stick your dick in crazy.
If that's the case, you're never sticking your dick in a woman ever.
Well, they do say that everybody's a little bit crazy, which it can be a good thing, but you got to be the good type of crazy. You got to be fun loving, right?
Look. Even Venus has agreed with me on this. Venus has agreed with me on this in the past. All women are crazy. It's just the level of crazy. You have to find the crazy that matches your crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like. I don't know if people could tell or not, but I'm pretty fucked up myself too. So
no, you hide
You're
it well.
fucked up in an awesome way. You're like the good type of fucked up though.
Yeah, you hide it well.
It depends on who you're asking, I guess. I mean, if you want to ask any one of my exes, like, they'll tell you otherwise, but...
Look, you are the sanest person I've ever met who sticks chicken wings up her ass. I mean, oh, wait, that's your sister. I'm sorry.
Oh, she's going to kill you.
She probably is.
Like, seriously, like, I've seen her. Oh, my God, she's the funniest. She's not even a feminist, okay? But this is one of the funniest females I've ever met in my entire life when it comes to, like, payback towards men. So this one time, this guy pissed her off. So she literally took his number and put it on Craigslist, and she's like, just send me dick pics. That's all I want right now, guys. And, you know, like, I'm a guy looking for dick pics so I could get myself off. So he got swarmed with dick pics.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's her level of crazy. Like, and I love it. Like, you know, it's harmless, but this guy's phone number's out there. He didn't know it was her. And even if he did, what's he going to do? Like, he fucked with her in such a way that she felt like she had to do this. And, like, I mean, he did something pretty bad. That's all I remember. And, like, that was just her payback, and it was just brilliant. And,
you know what?
And I've
right
got to give her kudos for that.
Well, I was about to say, that's a better way to handle things. Like, you have a bad breakup. Like, I actually applaud her. And by the way, if you actually ever listen to this, I am playing. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I don't even know you. So, you know, please take it into humor that it was given. If not, just never give her my phone number. I
don't poke that bear with a stick.
Yeah, I don't need dick pics coming to my phone. But no, that's the smarter way to handle it. Like, you think about a breakup, and you hear about, like, these breakup songs and everything else, like the guy cheated on a girl, and so you key his car and you destroy his property or whatever else. Like, that's jail time, and that's not really woman empowerment. That's terrible. But something like that,
you know,
I applaud that. That's smart ways of getting even with people.
It could be toxic, you know, like now, like, the whole world has your phone number. Somebody did this behind your back. Like, if it was a girl, like, you could be put in harm's way. But, I mean,
not to interrupt you, I just got a thumbs up from your sister.
You got a thumbs up from her?
Yeah, I guess she just noticed the podcast. And she just gave me a thumbs up about it.
I'm scared for you, bro. I'm scared of that thumbs up.
You know what? That's perfect timing.
That is perfect.
Oh, yeah, like, she's a Pisces, okay? So Pisces women are the fucking devil. Like, I don't even fuck with her anymore because I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to be on the end of that fucking phone call or, like, you know, be getting all these dick pics. But I think, like, the guy even, like, applauded her. Like, he even sent her a message, like, you know what? That was a good one, you know?
Well played. Touche.
Oh, yeah. I can't, like, honestly, I wish I could remember what he did, but it was golden. I've seen her do some really pretty rad, like, beyond sane things to men also, and I'm not going to lie about that. But when you come back with stuff like this, like wow,
well, like, it kind of goes back.
It makes up for all the bad things you've ever done to men, I guess.
Well, it kind of goes back to the days, and JD, I know you know what I'm talking about here on this. You know, even though I know I'm older than you, it goes back to the days of, like, when a woman mistreated a guy, and her name would wind up for a good time call on a bathroom stall somewhere. You know, it's the same deal. It doesn't harm anything. It's annoying, and they might have to get their phone number changed, but it harmed no one. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of these types of revenges. That
unless you run into, like, Jack the Ripper or something. I don't know. There's the whole like, a man can take care of himself. Like, if a man can't take care of himself, it's kind of like, you know, if he can't handle himself in a scrap. I know you're a pro wrestler. I'm like a lifetime martial artist, right?
Right.
We should be, like, there should be that little bit of warrior in every man. It's not, there's, when you bring it down, there's hunter, then there's, you know, the berry picking gatherer. We should all have that little bit of hunter in us to protect women. Right? To do our job as the male. That's our role as a male. I would never want my woman having to fight for me just based on the fact that I have, like, more bone and muscle mass, and I know I can take a beating, right? And it's like,
No, it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. I mean, if I'm supposed to defend myself against a woman, yeah, I would rather have a woman fight my battles because I was raised not to hit women.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly it. Like you need like feminists are always like harping on like men like legitimate like respectful men. And, like, what the fuck are you guys supposed to do? No, like, there's got to be women out there like me that are like, you know what, bitches? Back the fuck off. The same as, like, men will protect women. It's like, you guys obviously can't hit a woman, but I'll knock her the fuck out.
Yeah, you know what? I have a best friend, like a female friend that I've known since we were 14. I actually taught her how to throw a punch. And then her and our other buddy would follow me home from school every day and beat the crap out of me. So when it comes down to it, when I started scrapping in high school later on, like I was, people were picking fights with me. I've never picked a fight. I've always just been the one to end it, right? I've always been very passive aggressive when it comes to, like, I wouldn't back down, but if somebody wanted to go and they couldn't be talked out of it, it's like, well, I'm not gonna run from you, pal. You fucking throw the first punch. So I ended up, I was me and my buddy were walking home from school, right? And like five guys tried to jump me from high school because like the guy kept mean mugging me. One of the guys kept mean mugging me and just trying to walk into me, like high school politics type thing, like trying to shoulder check me on the way by. So he did it. The third time he did it, I was like, all right. I pulled my shirt off. I'm like, let's fucking go, like right outside the school. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, it's time to go. Time to assert you wanna you wanna fucking assault me? You wanna try and fucking bully me? You wanna do this? Okay, my shirt's off. Let's go. Let's fucking do this. So anyway, the guy backed down there, and maybe 20 minutes later we were walking home. And him and 6 guys showed up. One had a fucking can of mace. The guy, I'm like, all right. I'm like, you want to do this? And I was getting, because I really, really love to fight. It's addictive, right? I'm like, you want to do this? I'm like, I'll give you the first shot. I'll give you the first shot if you want to do this. And I'm looking at all his buddies, right? My girl buddy, she's standing there. She's just like, oh fuck. Like I know she can throw down. I don't want it to turn out like this, but I figured like I gotta protect her too, right? If something happens, there's fucking 6 of them. So the guy pulled out mace, right? And he sprayed it at me. I jumped back. I took like 3 steps back, and the mace, like the wind blew the mace away right in front of my face. It was crazy. It was like a Matrix dodge. I dodged back, and then the wind's like, whoa. I'm like, all right, now you're mine. So I fucking ran at him, and I punched him in the mouth. Then another guy came up behind me and actually kicked me in the ass. So technically, he kicked my ass.
Nah.
But then like I turned around to start fighting him. I turned around, like I used to scrap a lot. Not to float my own boat or anything, but I love to fight. So my buddy, my girl buddy jumped in and started trying to like cut them off. She's like, what? You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me? Let's do this. And I'm just like, it was like one of those moments where I looked over at her in the middle of the melee. Everything slowed down, and I was like, I love you so much. You're the best. And like, but then I snapped back to reality, and I kept going type thing. And a shopkeeper of the Don of Inconvenience store came out and started yelling at them. And the guy was like, 6'5", 350 pounds, and he looked like he could throw down. And we were a bunch of high school kids, so they all like ran away type thing. And then I kicked the guy's ass later, like a week later, 1-on-1. But
there are 2 things in that story I have to address.
Like, even women can fight. Women can throw down. Women have a lot of. They have ovaries. Some of them have ovaries. Like those alpha females. And she was an Aries too, by the way, Venus. Yeah.
Yeah, as Aries women, we're fucking like next level. Like, don't fuck with us, type of thing.
There are 2 things that I seriously need to address in that story. Number one, I agree with you. In high school, I was a scrapper too. But you know what? There was many times I got into a fight and I got my ass kicked. You know, there was people who just any given day anybody can beat anybody any given day. We learned that in the military. We learned that in our chosen field of sport.
Puncher's chance.
You know, it doesn't matter how great you are. There's somebody out there that is better at some point in life. So between fighting and verbal, if somebody could verbally spar with me and beat me, I'm more impressed with them. That's why I was really impressed with the idea of the Craigslist and dick pic thing, because that to me that's a verbal sparring, and it's like, you know what, you won. Cool, that's an awesome. That's exactly how I would treat it. It'd be annoying. I would have to change my phone number, but I would laugh at it like, you got me.
Checkmate.
As opposed to like if you just come and punch me in the face, all you did was hurt your hand, bloody my lip. That's going to heal, but I'm going to be pissed off the rest of the time. Now I'm actually laughing at how silly this had gone, but how cool it was to how you got even with me. But
I'm so sorry. I went off topic there. I rambled like a motherfucker for a while.
But the other thing I had to address was when you started talking about the fight and then the convenience store guy coming out. That had to be the most Canadian fight I ever heard. I don't mean to be disrespectful here, but I'm listening to like you kicking his ass, he's kicking her ass, she's kicking his ass, but you're all fucking polite about it, and you stop to endorse a damn store in the middle of the fight. I'm going to kick your ass, but afterwards we'll go get pancakes at the Waffle House. Like, Canadians are so fucking polite even when they're in a fight.
Honestly, I don't even know how many fights I've got into, and it's honestly like afterwards, like, oh hey, well, you want to smoke a doobie now? You're like, it's all said and done. Like, what do you do? Just burn one. Well, next time you want to fight like with me? Okay, we'll fight together. Like it sounds
like I'm
friends like that.
It sounds like I'm making fun of Canadians, but actually I'm thinking like Americans should learn something from that. Because when we get into fights, it's like, yeah, bitch, what? We shit talk you, we kick you when essentially we're kicking you while you're down. You guys are fucking like, hey, let's have a beer afterwards, eh? You know, like you said, you're making a friend with an adversary. It's like, we can learn from that. Okay, I kicked your ass. We good now? All right, let's go have a beer. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of beefs, like where I grew up in the Donovan. By the way, as you were saying, endorse the store, Donovan Convenience Store. Shout out to you. If you want to sponsor the podcast, we're open for business. Give us a shout. You know, scratch. We scratch your back, you scratch ours. But yeah, when it comes down to it, Canada has been very Americanized. When we were growing up, like when you were growing up back in the day, you're a little bit older than us and shit. That's when in Canada, like it was all about let's kick the shit, let's go outside, let's kick the shit out of each other, and then win or lose, let's go fucking drink a beer after. Nowadays there's a bunch of little fucking punks running around going, what? I'll shoot you, I'll stab you. It's like, no, it's Canada. What are you doing? You little bastards. Sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and drink this beer. No. I'm usually too young for that. Not going to go on record on podcasts and say minors should drink. Minors should not drink until they're 18 years of... Wait, it's 19, right? Legal drinking?
Yeah, it's 19.
It's 21 in the United States.
Years of age.
Is it really 19? I got drunk as shit in Montreal when I was 14 years old.
Montreal is 18. And I think Alberta is 18 too, isn't it?
It wasn't back in 1991. I was 14 years old and in a bar.
You know what? Montreal is kind of like our party central too. Montreal, there's a lot of things that go on in Montreal that Montreal is a pretty badass town. Like there's Canada. When it comes to Canada, like you got Montreal, which is like a really artsy place, party town, lots of strip clubs and stuff like that. You got Alberta, which is kind of like it's kind of like a worker's place. There's still a lot of hard partying that goes down there.
Right.
But it's like, you know, it's pretty conservative, right? Montreal is pretty liberal and pretty party central. I think that's starting to change with the rise of Turdo. but and the fall of Turdo, the eventual fall of Turdo, as he burns his own bridges, he burns the candles at both ends. Our feminist, quote unquote, prime minister.
Men
Yeah.
cannot be feminists.
You know what? I kind of agree with that. You can support feminism, but you can't. You're not a femme.
Absolutely not. And like these men that like act like they say that they're feminist, you're not a feminist. Like you prove, like even Trudeau proves that he could be a better feminist than feminists. And like why? Because he's a man standing up for feminism. So is that like counter feminism to be if you're a man feminist?
Oh,
it kind of is, because it's kind of reverse psychology. All of a sudden, a man's a better feminist than a woman.
Yep.
Exactly.
That is basically a virtue signal. That's straight up for campaigns. Like Turdo, basically in the paper and stuff. There's an old paper about Turdo groping a reporter, and you know, now he's got all these women in his cabinet, and sometimes women are hard to deal with. Absolutely,
They definitely are. We're
like,
not supposed to be easy though.
No, and that, once again, feminism. Women are supposed to be strong. Women should be strong. Like, there's yin and yang, and the thing is, there's yin and yang in everybody, in everything, right?
Uh-huh.
Based on my philosophies, I'm a Taoist. I believe in nature, and just overall being not more relaxed than anything, right? Just fuck it, right?
Right.
There's also different sects of Taoism, like there's military sects of Taoism and stuff like that. But when you look at a woman, like there's a lot of yin in her nature. Like she and not negative in a bad way either. Yin can be like restful and peaceful and stuff like that. And getting back to what Venus was saying about just doing the housewife thing. It's not like a woman should definitely like be like not chained down to being a career housewife or anything like that. But the thing is, what do you do when your woman gets pregnant? You're going to work because, like, you know, I'm a beta cuck male, and you're gonna go work while I sit at home nice and protected by, you know, vicious dogs and and do all the cleaning and cooking and stuff like that. No, women need to be pampered. Women need to be protected at certain stages in their lives, and one of those stages is absolutely pregnancy. Like that's not only for your woman, that's for your kid. You gotta protect your woman. And that's one of those things as a man. That's one of those things we're losing in society as a man. All these young boys going around, you know, all these little soy boys, and even the little gangster ones. They're getting women pregnant, and then they're fucking off, and there's just like the irresponsibility. There has to be responsibility when something happens. You respond to it. Response ability. Your ability to respond to a situation is what makes you a man. That's what defines you as a man, is your ability to respond to the call of duty.
Rationally, no less.
Yeah, not like an angry beta.
Even when a male responds to something in a violent way, it was rationalized in his head.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
You know, that's what men do. But we've talked about like the feminist war on men. We've been kind of hitting that this whole podcast. But can we talk about the damage it's doing to the women? You kind of brought this up with the yin and the yang, and everybody has a little bit of both in them.
Yeah.
The war third wave feminists is causing to women is it's not okay to be the nurturer. It's not okay to be the moral guide, if you will, the emotional guide. That women, that's kind of your role. Men would be nothing but fucking pounding our chests and eating red meat if it wasn't for women. And they're nurturing nature. You know, they're caring and giving nature, and this modern feminism looks at that as a weakness. To be the caregiver, you know, not only to children but to your spouse, whatever that spouse may be. They're harming women just as bad as they're harming men with their movement.
They are. Like, okay, so when I was pregnant for my daughter and my son, I actually had to be like the one to even get up and go to work. So I was probably about 10 weeks pregnant with my daughter, and I had to start working because her dad like wanted to sit there and play his games and sell drugs and stuff. So like he wouldn't even have money for food. So I was like starving and everything. So I had to get up and go to work. And like I am so blessed now. Like, okay, I had to wear like old pajama pants because I didn't have clothes that would fit me, old torn up band t-shirts. And so I had to do like a lot of like the working and taking care of myself. When like what JD was saying, like I should have been taken care of more. Like God to honest truth, like right now, like I'm so blessed. Like I get to sit at home. I get to be like relaxed. I get to like enjoy the pregnancy and enjoy the food and, you know, not having to go through that stress every day. And so like feminism and like these feminist women are like pushing women into doing like what I had to do before. And you know what? It's not fucking right. Because it's so stressful. It hurts so much. Like you're not supported. You're doing it all by yourself. You don't need to do that. Like I get taken care of now. It's not that I have to like every day deal with like this like baby's dad or anything, or like, you know, do all that like crazy female stuff that I was talking about. I don't have to. I get to like enjoy my life now, and that's what men should be doing. Is like not letting like women work when they're pregnant, taking care of their financial needs, you know, making sure they have a roof over their head, you know, they have new clothes that they can wear, that they can fit in so they're comfortable. Like I don't get like super pampered, but I mean like my needs are taken care of, which is more than I could have ever, which is more than I could have ever asked for before, because like I literally was puking my guts out and on Diclectin and everything, and having to walk to work with swollen feet and swollen ankles and stand there for like 5 to 10 hours a day.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
You landed on a grenade. You straight up landed on a grenade.
I did. I was 19 at the time. Well, I was 19 when I had my daughter, so I was like 17 when I hooked up with this 29-year-old. And I was 18 when I got pregnant. So when I was 19 and had her, like, yeah, I'm not going to say it did not make me a strong female. Like I had to bust my ass to make sure that I could take care of this child, because this guy was useless as fuck.
Wow, what a bum.
Oh no, like even for my son, like I was, my kids are 11 months apart. So when I got pregnant for my son, I had to go back to work too, because I couldn't afford like her dad wasn't working, so I couldn't afford pretty much like anything at that time. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to have another baby, like I need to have more money in my pocket. So I had to actually be the one to go to work again while I had a daughter. And I would get home and like her dad was just drunk as fuck, playing Xbox, not contributing whatsoever. So I'd have to clean the house, bath my child, take care of all of that at the same time. And it's like, why do women want to do this to themselves? Like, it could be so much easier. It'd be so much happier if someone was helping them with it all.
That's the thing, right? All you women out there who are listening in on this, especially the young ones, make sure you find a nice guy, a legitimate nice guy. No, sorry. I take that back 1,000%. Don't find a nice guy, because nice guys are fucking pussies. Find a good man.
Guy.
A
devoted guy. At least, you know, someone who's gonna, like, even if he's working a shitty job to take care of you, and, you know, maybe you might have to find a 15-hour job a week or something to make ends meet or something. Find a man who's actually going to contribute and take care of your well-being. Yeah. And, you know, I lucked out. I'm not going to say like I'm some gold digging bitch or something, but like this baby's daddy, like he's a hardworking man. Like he does everything, so I don't have to. Like, and like he's not going to miss work. He's going to make sure that I'm taken care of. Like that's what you need. Like,
you need a dude with willpower and some moral direction when it comes down to it. All these like little wannabe gangsters and shit like that.
They're
like
not
all
it.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give him a male guide real quick. If he's walking around with a fucking man bun, he's not a father. He's a baby daddy. If he's walking around with tattoos on his face trying to support his mumble rap career, he's not a father. He's a baby's daddy. If he still is being supported by his mother.
If he's a drug dealer,
if he's
just
a drug
red
dealer,
flag right there.
If
he's an alcoholic.
If his only motivation in life is to become a major league gamer, so it's not playing video games, it's training for my career, he is not a man. He is a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like women like want the men who are like during pregnancy especially, like women want the men that are going to be there for them emotionally and like be there every day and every minute, you know, and to pamper them and like, you know, rub your feet and everything. That's not what you need. That's absolutely not what you need. You do not need a man there continuously to like make sure that your tears are dried up or something. You're pregnant. You're going to cry whether he's there or not. You need a man who's actually going to be like, look, I'm going to be gone like in the bush for like 2 months now. I'll send you money. I'll take care of all that stuff. Like you'll be good. You know, go buy yourself groceries, pamper yourself, go get your hair done, stuff like that. That's what you need.
Here's the shotgun. The dog's sleeping at the door.
Yeah, no, you don't even need that much. You just need someone who's devoted enough to be like, okay, look, I got you.
Oh, there's another one for you. Let's blow some more crazy liberals' minds, especially the feminists. Every daughter, every single one of you, have your daddy take you out and teach you how to use a gun. Because you know what? Protection from abuse orders, restraining orders, they're just pieces of paper.
Yup. Absolutely. And women's self-defense is a must. You want to, like, a dude attacks you, once again, bone mass is bigger, right? Like, more dense bone mass, more density in the muscles. You want to fight fucking dirty. You want to poke eyes. You want to jab the throat. You want to stomp on the top of the feet. You want to kick the knees out. You want to slap the ears. You want to fuck that motherfucker up. There's no mercy when it comes to your life. It's better to be judged by 12 than carried out by 6, right?
That's it.
When it comes down to Yup.
No, that's absolutely true. It's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And you know what? Most guns nowadays, they're made for more feministic people, you know, people who can't handle like the big firepower. You don't have to carry a 357. A 22 will do the job.
A gun is a
gun.
A gun is a gun. A gun is a gun. But knowing the proper care, the proper use, and knowing the right times to pull it and what times not to.
Yep.
These are the important things, and every single woman on this fucking planet needs to know it.
I agree.
Every single one.
And you can technically kill someone with a straw too. Getting back to the whole, you know, a gun is a gun thing, right? You can kill someone with a straw, so
you can kill someone with a paper clip if you are crafty enough.
Yeah.
And, I'm not gonna say women should like involve their time in like learning how to make homemade weapons or like anything like that, but you like, you know, if
fourth wave feminism.
You have frying pans, okay? Make sure you have a good set of Teflons or something.
Fourth wave feminism has crafting classes of making shivs.
Yeah, you got women running around with face tattoos going, "What, bud?" With like, they got like broomsticks with like kitchen knives taped to them, and
yeah, so we could keep ourselves at a distance. Like, there you go. Like, there's some ingenuity right there.
I'm a fourth wave feminist. I've learned how to kill a man with my bra that I burnt back in the 60s.
You know what? Those burnt bra remnants, they should be framed. Because first wave feminism, yeah, that was
this. I can get behind this fourth wave feminism. I think we'll have to start a whole new fourth wave feminism of like literally empowering like women's body strength and like mentality strength and emotional strength. Like we're like, not that we're weak and like, you know, like we're like stuck with our emotions or anything. Like sometimes we have to be an adult, and you notice I said adult and not a woman, and you know, it's suck it up.
Yeah.
And like this whole feelings are more important than facts. You know what? Maybe when you're PMSing and it's the day before your period and like you really want chocolate and you don't have chocolate and like some dude says something wrong to you, maybe your emotions and your feelings mean more than anything at that time. And I don't fucking blame you. And if some dude is like dumb enough to walk in your fucking like range of fire, by all means, he was asking for it.
Bust out the broom knife.
Yeah, but you know what? The day before the period, even though you're emotional, it's still along the lines of like the right and wrong times to do it. Like, you know, the difference. Most men are painted as like we're robots because of the fact that we, you know, are taught and it's called toxic masculinity, because we control our emotions. You know, and use rational thought instead of just responding emotionally to situations. There's a reason, because there's a time and a place. Do men cry? Absolutely. When do we cry? When we're alone, when we're with people we trust the most. But out in the rest of the world, yeah, we're emotionless robots because we have to be. We know there's a time and a place for it. Women, there's nothing wrong with being emotional. But allowing emotion to rule your life.
That's the lack of self-control.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not right. And I've got like quite a bit of self-control. Like I could be angry and like I'm talking calm as fuck like this. But the day before my period, though, I'm a fire-breathing, fucking crying, emotional dragon who, like, just lost her fucking puppy or something. Like, you don't fuck with me all those days. Like, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna cry while I'm killing you, and there's gonna be nothing you can do about it, and the fact of the matter was, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, pissing me off.
Right, but you know, sensibility and rationality would tell you that if you are not in control of your facilities that day, you don't go out.
And you know what?
No.
Or you don't allow yourself to get in those types of situations.
Check this out.
That's responsibility for your own actions.
Guys,
Exactly.
based on this right here. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I know I do that a lot.
We all do.
All assholes. But at least we're good at it.
There you go.
Exactly.
When it comes down to it, the whole period thing, I just want to bring that up. I'm actually for giving like a monthly sick leave when a woman is on her period. Like when it gets to those worst days, like the stomach cramps and shit like that, that's pretty crippling for some women. Some women get it worse than others. And like honestly, like a little bit of paid leave or like leave without pay, if like I don't know, there's a couple ways that it can be done. It's like women want equal pay, right? They could
Women
get
want
it.
equal rights, but like look how different we are though. Like we deserve these days off. If we know we're gonna go into work when we're already ready to kill a motherfucker, we shouldn't have to go into work so we don't kill a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Look,
exactly.
If feminism has done anything that I actually agree with, in modern feminism, I should say, not the past feminism. I agree with most of the past feminism, but but the third wave, if they did anything, if anything was proposed, the one thing I actually agree with, the one thing I 100% back, is that maternity leave also be available to the male. Paid maternity leave, because I think it's just as important for the father to have that bonding time and to be there to help during the first months of the child's life with the mother who's healing and dealing with the postpartum depression. I absolutely agree that maternity leave should also have a paternity leave as well. I agree with that. That's about the only thing that has ever come out of a third wave feminist mouth that I actually agree with, because it allows for the family dynamic to be brought back into the forefront.
Yeah, because gone are the days where you can feed a whole family and buy a house on a single job, a single parent type thing. So, until we get our fucking country's economy sorted out and get things back to the way they should be, where people can actually earn a decent living and raise a family and, not like... I don't even understand what the fuck is going on with all this Planned Parenthood bullshit where everyone's like, oh yeah, abort your kids, abort your babies. It's the right thing to do. It's like, no, the right thing to do is to come together as one crushing, like, bee-made fist, dun 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 dun, and fix the economy. One fell swoop. Every person in the country should just come together, referendum that shit, whatever it is, and put competent people in charge. We have to choose our masters, right? We might as well have good ones because there's a lot more of us than there is them. Now, when that can be established, right? Like a man can support a family. A man can save money, put money away to actually take time off work, even, and not even have to rely on that shit. Like the root of the problem, the base of the problem is our countries are getting shit fucked. They're getting shit fucked financially. People are getting ripped off. Like that carbon tax shit. This false feminist prime minister. Sorry, I really don't like this guy. I really do not.
I don't think
sham.
I don't think anyone does. Like, not even liberal Canadians are liking him very much.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Like, we need stronger people in like positions of power. Like, we need stronger females, and not these like feminist females that are like selfish and they blame it on everyone else, or because they lose an election and it's like, well, look at that one NDP leader in Ontario. Well, it's all Ontario's fault that we lost. No, you lost because you're a shit leader. That's why, and it's not because you're a woman. Like, the world needs like strong females, like with the maternal females, and not like those little 2-year-old having tantrum females. Like, they need like the maternal ones that are going to be like, no, we're not backing down. This is what we want. Like CEO type women, you know, that got to their position because they earned it. Those type of women, and those type of women that will honestly like pick up these other women and be like, look, no, we could do better. We're going to do better, and we're not backing down. We're not taking no for an answer. This is absolutely what we need. Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is. The best way I can describe it. What the world needs, as far as women leaders are concerned, what the world needs is not the girl who stands there and says, "I'm boss, bitch."
Yeah,
what they need is the girl who goes out and proves she's boss, bitch.
A real boss,
woman
bitch.
The woman that uplifts other women. Or like I saw this one meme, and I like continuously see it, that real queens fix each other's crowns. Like, we need women like that, and not other women that are going to be like, well, you don't believe in what I believe. You're not a feminist, and you're a conservative woman, so you're trash. No, you're not doing anyone a favor. You're one-third of the population, 1/3 of the female population, and you're dragging everybody else down.
Has anybody ever paid attention to, like, when they pick on women conservatives? Has anybody ever paid attention that majority of the successful women in the world are conservative?
It's true. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the majority of successful people are conservative, like men and women.
Sure, successful people, but specifically women, because there's a war on women that there's some sort of Uncle Tom or something if they're conservative instead of joining the feminist movements or the liberal movements or stuff of that nature. They're the ones that are successful. They're the ones that are not dealing with this supposed wage gap. They're the ones that are not dealing with this patriarchy society because they're too busy kicking ass and taking names themselves.
Exactly. And like, there's even been like, I've seen so many, like, heard so many horror stories about women in like boss positions at work and stuff, and they're the most fucking demonizing women ever. Like, they'll treat other women like trash. They'll walk all over other women, and you know what's even worse is that they use their pussy as power in the workplace. And it's like, well, you know, you're not really setting a really good example again either. Like, if it was all about pussy, I mean, anyone could do it. But, you know, you've got all these fantastic qualities about you that got you there besides, you know, your vagina. And you're totally downgrading it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'm guilty of this. I have to admit, okay? I have to just go out there on a limb and admit my guilt for this. Once the whole equality between genders thing came out, I was like, okay, well, if it's equal rights, I'm going to do this. And sure enough, I was at the bar and women were buying me drinks constantly. It's like, I'm not buying these girls drinks. They're going to buy me drinks.
I don't think people realize. Yeah, like I don't think people realize how much this could backfire because like you don't even have to be an asshole person, but you're gonna have asshole moments when you're like, I'm taking advantage of the system and I'm taking advantage of what's given to me. And like
women
it's not even you, but because of the circumstances around you, it's like, well, you know what, I'm forced in this position. And I'm not gonna say it doesn't work. Like I've bought guys drinks before, but like they've bought me drinks and it's like, well, you know, I'll buy you a shot if you buy me a shot. And you know, you got someone to hang out with and party with for the night.
Yeah. If you're buying each other shots, that's perfect. That's fucking amazing. That's like what we should aspire to be as, you know, humanity. if equality, right? That right there. I'll buy you a shot, you buy me a shot. Let's get fucking drunk.
Well,
like
exactly.
why not, right? That's how.
But
I'll walk you home after, you know, I'll make sure you get home safe, you know, just call me a cab so I don't get in trouble on my way home. It's so simple to look out for someone.
But let's be fair.
Yeah.
Modern feminism has nothing to they say they want equality, but it has nothing to do with equality. They want superiority. And I have the ultimate proof. It happened here in the United States because women wanted equality so badly. What did the United States do? Okay, well, for years men were the ones that had to register for the draft once they turned 18.
I was going to bring that up. They're going to be drafting women now.
Oh yeah.
What a backfire.
And the feminist movement was like, no, that's not what we mean by equality. That's equality.
That is equality.
If you want to be exactly like a man when he's 18 can be forced to go fight for his country and die. You want equality? Guess what? Now you can go and fight too.
Oh yeah.
I've never believed in equality, like gender equality. Like genders are just not equal. Like you can fight for equality all you want, but at the end of the day, guess who's going to be signing that bill or whatever saying, yeah, women have equal rights? A man is. So is it really equal? Is a man gave you a right? Or do you want to walk up to this man and be like, I'm taking this and it's mine? Like, that's your options and you're begging for it. You're fighting for it. You're crying for it. When you can legitimately walk up, say, I'm doing it, and there's nothing you can fucking say about it.
But you know what? That's an aggressive way to do it. Yeah, okay, right now you have men that are primarily in the role. You have, in my mindset, you have two ways you can handle this. You could be the militant feminist who comes up and says, bitch, it's my time, and takes it. Or you could be the person who says, I want true equality. Let's work together.
But that's not what I meant. I meant like the mentality where you walk up and you're like, I deserve this. Like, I deserve respect. I deserve like equal opportunities. I deserve everything a man can have, and I don't not deserve it because I'm a woman. But until I'm given these opportunities, I'm not budging. This is what I want, and you know, like I'm not taking no for an answer. But not like the like boss bitch, like you're giving me this, or you know, or else type of thing. But you know.
Okay, I misunderstood what you meant by that. Okay, that like I agree with. That I agree with. Okay,
like taking a stand, like in the presence of a man, and being like, I'm your equal, and I'm not leaving until you look at me in the eyes and show me respect, type of thing.
No, that I absolutely agree with. That I absolutely agree with. I thought you were talking about like for equality to happen, it's either you submit to the fact that a man is going to make the decision for you, or you go and take it. It's like, well, no, not really. You know, that's what I originally thought. But yeah, showing up and saying, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. We're going to do this. We're going to make this happen, and I'm going to prove that it's worth it.
There's got to be that balance between self-respect and respect for others.
Exactly.
When it comes down to it in any facet of life, right? So you have to, you got to create that little force field around yourself, like stay out of my circle type thing, right? And
like,
so
like look at that woman on the bus, like that black woman on the bus, like you can't sit here or you'll be arrested, and like she sat there, like that was like real feminism, like not only for women but also for black people everywhere at the time. And she wasn't taking no for an answer.
Rosa
but did
Parks,
she like,
by the way, that was the name of the campaign.
yeah, but did she make a big fuss out of it or anything? No, she got arrested, she did whatever, and you know what, she took it, and you know what, she won. So
but that's real. That's real civil discourse. People like Rosa Parks, people like Martin Luther King, who fought for, they're perfect examples for who fought for equality in the civil rights movement and everything else. They did it non-violently. They did
classy.
They did it classy. They did it with words. They did it with words, and they did it with true belief systems. They didn't force opinions on others. They didn't attack people who didn't agree with them. They did it the right way.
And you know what?
You know what? They did it by themselves. They didn't need a band of bitches behind them. They're just like, I am the bitch. I'm the one that you're going to fear at the end of the day because I'm going to be winning.
Yeah.
They were. They are perfect. I'm glad you brought her up because that is a perfect example of somebody who can change the world by going through the right ways of doing it.
But unfortunately, it sucks because looking back at all the crazy bullshit I've gone through, it's probably shaved 20 years off my life. I'm probably going to die young. And the thing is, just looking at all the struggles that people have to face, that's what makes us human. That's what makes us mortals and not like immortal. Like we're not untouchable. But it's kind of like it gives beauty to humanity, the fact that we have to struggle. Now, why can't everybody just fucking get along so nobody has to struggle? Mm-hmm. Right?
Why can't you be polite and courteous and say, you know, this is what I deserve, and I'm not walking away until I get like at least this.
Yeah.
You know, make a stand up like against it, and it could be like just like a person 1-to-1. And like I've dealt with them. I'm sure like every man's dealt with his like fair amount of like real fucking cynical bitches. I've dealt with like the fair amount of men like that, and like they'll treat you that way until you're like no, and you don't react, and you know you stand there and you're like you're not getting away with this. What do you mean I'm not getting away with it? Well, I'm just not putting up with your shit.
I gotta put my foot. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Put your foot down and like demand the respect. But like, I mean, you don't give in to like those little childish things when someone's like poking at you and you're like, well, look, I don't appreciate what the fuck you're doing. I'm going to give you two options right now. One, you're going to fucking apologize and you're going to buy me a drink or something. Or two, I'm going to beat the living fuck out of you. Now, I'd prefer to be a lady, but I mean, I'll just call up my buddy and he'll do it for me. So, you know.
Somebody's getting their ass kicked. Somebody's getting their ass kicked. That's like the new catchphrase from Realm of the Mist Entertainment right there.
Well, that's the thing, right? People
lack self-respect.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. And you've got to respect yourself to be like, I'm not putting up with it. I'm not taking it. I'm not having it. But you also have the respect to be like, keep it classy. That's like one of my things. Just always keep it classy, no matter what you do. Like I've JD's seen it, like, and Chris has seen it also, like on Facebook or something. Like I can literally tear a motherfucker apart with some words, and there's not much you could do about it.
They back down.
Well,
they back down quick.
As I told you before, I'm more impressed with somebody who could beat me with words and intelligence than with fists.
I get reported a lot on Facebook. I'm in and out of Facebook jail. Venus is also in and out of Facebook jail a lot. I think we're lifers when it comes to that. Another tip for those out there listening: multiple Facebook accounts, multiple social media accounts. You need backups. If you're gonna do what we do, if you're gonna play like the big boys and the big girls, you have to have a backup plan.
Yeah, if you're gonna correct someone when they're wrong, even, and you don't even have to be like a trash. You don't need to have a trashy attitude about it, but correct someone when they're wrong, and just I get shit for that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you say that? That's offensive. Well, I'm just trying to help you out here.
I didn't even put this motherfucker on blast. I just put them on point. And
exactly.
Yeah, now you got a bunch of liberal pitchforks pointed at you. And there's some torches going up. And
it's like, look, I'm just telling her the answer is 6 and not 4 because the math is done like this. And the way that she did it, it could be right, but it's not right because it's specifically done like this. If you include your bed mass and everything, and they're like, oh,
Well, that's why a show like It Had to Be Said with Venus is here at Realm of the Mist Entertainment, because we don't play that hiding from blocking people from hearing the truth, whether they want to hear it or not. I'm an American. I started this company as an American, and I believe very much in the First Amendment, and I believe the First Amendment is backed by the Second Amendment. So as long as Realm of the Mist has It Had to Be Said with Venus, you're going to hear what you're going to hear. You don't like it, check another channel.
You know what? It's a good outlet.
No. Stay on this channel, and there will be words from our sponsors soon enough.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shit is popping over here.
And I have us on enough platforms that if the platform wants to have issue, like YouTube, I don't give a fuck. There's other platforms that have no problem with our content, so it's still gonna be heard.
Yeah, if we have to record it and send out fucking PDF files.
Dude, I will go back to the old days of fucking cassette tapes and handing them out at concerts. I don't care. It'll be heard.
I will start working at McDonald's and putting them in your kids' Happy Meals, okay?
Yeah. We've become the government. We're indoctrinating people now.
There you go. Look, the truth isn't always pretty, but it's always worth hearing.
Yeah, we're gonna act like the Hydra, the giant mainstream media Hydra now.
And like I was saying, if you want to fight about it, hey, like, you're more than welcome to join the show. We'll go at it. I'm sure they could really enjoy some tap fights or something.
There you go.
Oh.
Let's
get ready to rumble!
Right?
Yeah.
If you can hold a conversation, sure, let's do this. If you can sit there and not lose your temper, let's do this. If it's your PMS day, I totally understand. We don't have to do this.
Look,
you know what? If you're able to lose your temper, please come on the show anyway, because it'll be amusing for the viewers. We have to admit, they're liberals, not normal liberals. We're talking about the far left, the loony liberals, the loony left. They are fun to talk to when they can't block you on Facebook.
Well, see, that's where I was going to go. I will debate anybody on any of our shows, except for maybe War of the Stars, because that's Star Wars. We want to keep politics out of that. But as far as the other shows like Realm of the Mist, It Had to Be Said, or even After Hours, you know what? You want to come on, you want to have a debate with me? I'm absolutely down with it. Here's the only rule I have: as soon as you say the words "you're a racist" or a misogynist because you're losing the argument, you're gone. I'm not going to play.
So you can't play that kitty stuff.
I'm not going to play the name game. You want to have a debate? We'll have a debate. You want to have an exchange of ideas? We'll have an exchange of ideas. You want to come on and just try to blast me because that's what the buzzword of the week for the loony liberals is? No, fucking take your shit to fucking BuzzFeed. We don't need it here.
Yeah, straight up.
If you're worried about hurting my feelings or something, my best friends, and probably the only friends I have in my life, we started off by arguing. So, and I'm always down for making friends.
I've kicked a lot of people's asses in my day, and a lot of them ended up shaking my hand at the end of the day. We are friends. You know what?
The strong survive.
Yeah.
We're not in.
And you know what? Without welfare, a lot of the liberals would not be around, or they would be forced to, go out and do something. But
how do you hide money from a liberal? Put it under their work boots.
Oh. Yeah.
No, but the truth is Realm of the Mist, even in the political realm, Realm of the Mist is not an echo chamber. We are more than willing to have anybody of an opposing point of view on the show. In fact, we offered it on numerous occasions.
I think we offer it at the end of every show.
We do. We do. We offer it on numerous occasions. If you want to sit down and you want to say we're wrong and you want to tell us why we're wrong and give your side of the story, please come on the show. You are more than welcome to do so.
If you're a female and you've got a female point of view, this is the show you're more than invited to be on. Sometimes bitches just have to bitch, and I'm one of those bitches. I'm guilty as all fuck. You can have a lot of fun.
You want to be angry? You want to be militant? We could do the angry and militant. Just keep your buzzwords, because we don't need it. This ain't CNN.
No labeling.
Yeah, this ain't CNN. Because if you sit there and you call me a racist, when anybody who has ever known me in my life knows I've never been racist, you want to call me a racist? I will. I will make your grandchildren cry with the way I blast you.
I hate everyone equally.
That's it.
Roast show would be fun. I'm not even kidding. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, just like dying giggling in my head, and I'm like, yeah, just fucking roast someone.
you want to call me a misogynist? Think about this. I'm talking to you right now on a pro-feminine, pro-female podcast. How misogynistic can I be?
And the pro-female agrees with him.
Exactly.
I think like there's so many like people like with this feminist shit and whatnot. Like there's a lot of women that don't agree with it, and they don't agree with a lot of point of views. But so many of them are scared to say anything. I'm totally not. I get pissed off by feminists like every fucking day of my life. Like. And I actually tried having a feminist friend, and it wasn't because of her feminism that we stopped being friends. It was because of like her rude comments to me, like oh my god, like who wants to send you poo pictures? Like, girl, please no, don't send me poo pictures.
You know what?
Poo as in Winnie the Pooh or poo as in caca?
Yeah, poop.
Poo as in Justin Trudeau.
Or Justin Bieber. You know what? Canada's got problems with Justins.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do I even know any cool Justins? Fuck, I'm thinking about. Oh yeah, I've got a cousin named Justin. He's all right.
There you go.
I got a buddy in. He's serving in. What's it called? Somewhere Latvia right now. He's like. He's a lifer in the Canadian Armed Forces. His name's Justin. He's like captain of his powerlifting team, and yeah, pretty badass. Pro wrestler too. Really, really cool guy. Really down to earth.
Right,
funny guy too. And that's like there's a couple Justins. Like not to say fuck all the Justins out there, but you know, if we could deport Justin Bieber and Justin Trudeau, that would be great.
You already deported Justin Bieber. We've been trying to give him back.
Oh, really? He's an American citizen now? Oh, yeah, he's posted up in California or something.
Yeah.
Damn California.
We've been trying to get rid of him.
Well, as we could like tell, obviously, we'll wrap up this show, but as we could tell, obviously, there are good men out there. There are bad men out there. There are good women out there. There are bad women out there. So you really just can't be like putting people in a jar of good people or bad people because they have a penis or a vagina, or you know, maybe because they have like both, or you know, shit happens. Like, it's 2019. We don't need to be judging people on their genitals.
Yeah, we should be working together.
Yeah. I don't even know how the LGBT community and the feminist community get along, because one's saying not to judge people on their genitals and the other one's hating people because of their genitals.
Look, I got a simple way. Fuck humanity. Just get yourself a sex bot. That's the next episode, sex bots. No.
That's actually a good one. So anyways, I'll have to say thank you to my guest host tonight, JD Doyle. And do you want any stalkers? Like, can they find you on Facebook or anything? Well, obviously, JD Doyle.
You call it stalking, I call it falling in love from a distance.
I've had to deal with real stalkers before. I've been on the run. It's not fun. Please don't stalk me. But any love that you show, like, you know, true unstalking love.
Appreciation.
Appreciated. Yeah, love and respect always. Love and respect to all of humanity. Even, I hope everybody grows up. First wave feminism, thumbs up. Yeah, that shit should be revered. Third wave feminism, you guys got some issues to deal with. So
it's time to wipe and flush.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
I want to thank my two co-hosts too. Thank you, Venus, for having me on the show. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know how you know how bad I want to just say "party on, dude" to you right now with the way you just delivered that. Like I'm having a Bill and Ted moment. Like "party on, dude."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they got a new movie coming out soon. Keanu Reeves.
Yes, I'm so happy about it.
Yeah. Me too.
Nice. And thank you to my my co-host Chris Stolle.
Hey guys, if you want to find me, you can find me anywhere that says Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Just go ahead and check us out. Hit that thumbs up button, like, share, comment, subscribe here on YouTube, on Anchor.fm, iTunes, or Spotify, or wherever quality podcasts are heard. Make sure you give us a 5-star review, or if you're really feeling nice, in the description down below, you will find the link to our website. Go on there and hit the little tabs that say I want to be a supporter, either through Patreon or through Anchor. Every dollar helps.
And that's what's up.
You can find me back here on Monday on Realm of the Mist. Next Tuesday again on It Had to Be Said with Venus. Facebook, Venus Chan or Solar Nova, depending on if I'm blocked that week or blocked that month. Instagram, Venus Uncensored. And hopefully sometime soon we'll be coming out with a third podcast with myself and Brian Miller, the Tinfoil Hat Society. That's on hold right now, but we will be coming up with that shortly.
And don't look for me. Just leave me alone.
Pretty much. I get messages from random people and I'm, oh, just delete, just don't answer. I'm like, oh, that shit. Maybe they found me on like this or something. And here I am being such a rude cunt. It happens. All right. With that, have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.
Exactly.